Man, what's going on? I'm doing a bunch of shows coming up, San Luis, Monterey, and Napa, and I think San Luis, and we got to check the order, Dawson. I think that's the order. Yeah, I think Monterey's got some tickets, but Napa and San Luis Obispo is going. So I think, and I think you got the order right there. But that's coming up February 28th, March 1st, and March 2nd. All right, Xavier and Mayhem, you want to get going? A little news here?
Yeah, here was some news. We alluded to it earlier, but Kamala Harris made a Broadway cameo and dished up some of her classic word salad. Let's let the video speak for itself.
Well, she made her Broadway cameo.
She did.
Because if you make a Broadway cameo now, you can do that in Van Nuys in your kitchen. Right?
I think so, yeah.
We're getting real granular with verbiage, you know? Also, it was a R&B band from the 80s or 90s.
Oh, yeah, cameo?
Cameo, you must have been hot for them.
Yeah, the jam.
All right, sorry, this is her. Oh my goodness.
You know, I don't get out much these days. And then, you know, but spirit's tired, but you cannot be defeated. Don't let anybody defeat that. Because then what do we have left? When we think about like these moments where we see things that are being taken, but also let's see it as nature abhors a vacuum. So where there's a vacancy, then let's fill it, right? And let's know that the reality is that the progress of our nation has always been about the expansion of rights, not the restriction of rights. We're seeing a U-turn right now, for those rights to be maintained, which means we have to be vigilant, and it's just the nature of it. This beautiful play and everything that we know he ended. He was suppressed. He had to suppress so much, but he knew, and he took those risks. But we have to be clear-eyed, and it doesn't mean we don't see the beauty in everything, right? These things all coexist. But I believe we fight for something, not against something. And that's
Snap.
right?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, with that, I'll make.
I just cringed my balls inside.
She loves rights. She's all for the rights. But 10 minutes ago, her administration was trying to force everyone to get experimental vaccination against their will or get fucking shit canned from their government job or any job. So is she that into rights? I don't know. I feel like forcing people to be vaccinated, especially when it was something that didn't affect them if you were young and you're healthy. Forcing kids to get vaccinated when they didn't need vaccinations. Would that be... What side of the rights argument are you on with that argument?
Yeah, the internet went buck wild on her, calling her drunk and auntie vibes. Yeah.
Well, also, listen, I got to say something. There is a problem with too much positivity around you. Now, people think you can't have enough positivity around you, but a little negativity will keep you in the lane that you need to be in. And like I said, my friends, when I grew up, one time I worked with a guy who was from Durango.
Yeah.
And his name was Kelly. And we installed closets, but he was in a band. And he had black cowboy boots. And I thought they were kind of cool. And so I went out and I bought myself some black cowboy boots. And then the next Saturday night, I walked out with my black cowboy boots on, and my old friends from the neighborhood, I said, now we're going out. And they go, no, those fucking boots, take those fucking boots off. We're not going out with your fucking cowboy ass. No, you look gay. No, you're not doing it. They didn't nod their head and applaud. They made fun of me, and then I took the boots off, and I never wore them again. So when she's giving her speech, let's run her speech again.
Man, do we have to?
But when she's saying something that's nonsensical, instead of everyone going, oh yeah, they need Mayhem yelling, what the fuck you talking about, bitch?
What the fuck you talking about, bitch?
Yeah, now let's weave it in. But if enough guys stop going, like, I used to sit in an office with Jimmy Kimmel. I'd go, I got a real funny idea for a bit, and then I'd pitch it to him, and he'd go, that's not funny. I go, I thought it was funny. Yeah, well, no one else does. So moving on. If he just laughed hysterically at everything, then I'd have a bunch of lame bits because there would be no vetting process. So she doesn't have a vetting process for her words because she only goes to friendly places and gives speeches, and everyone just goes, Yeah. They should be, well, let's try it.
Everything that we know he was suppressed. He had to suppress so much. But he knew, and he took those risks. But we have to be clear-eyed. And it doesn't mean we don't see the beauty in everything, right?
What the fuck you talking about, bitch?
But I believe we fight for something, not against something. Right. And
What does it even mean?
Right?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Go ahead. Come on, one more.
Oh my
One more.
God.
What the fuck?
And everything that we know he was suppressed. He had to suppress so much. But he knew, and he took those risks. But we have to be clear-eyed. And it doesn't mean we don't see the beauty in everything, right?
No!
These things all coexist.
That's gobbledygook!
But I believe we fight for something, not against something.
Oh, obviously!
Yeah, that's good. I like bitch. I like a little more insulting, but we can work on it. That's good.
All right,
Can I just say that listening to Kamala Harris has the same effect on the brain as a person with dyslexia trying to read? Because it's like my brain is just scrambled.
I know. I felt like I had schizophrenia right then.
I want to get drunk with her so bad. I would love to go get bottomless mimosas with her and just hear her say the dumbest shit and just gas her up, because my toxic trait is when I'm talking to someone who's stupid and delusional, I will gas them up. I'm like, you know what? We're about to do what we're about to do, and what we're doing is what we have been doing, and the time is now to do what we should have did. I'm like, yes, queen. Go ahead, auntie. You better
Slay.
go. You know what? We need another one. Get her a guava mimosa right now.
Yeah, it's the process people versus the let's do shit people, and the process people don't want to do anything. Like Rick Caruso is a commercial developer who wants to do shit. And Karen Bass is a process person who wants to talk about shit. And that's, we shouldn't have process people in the we need shit done departments. We can't have them in that world. They don't work as football coaches or like offensive coordinators or mayors or presidents. They don't, and we somehow like it. Women like it more than men. They want to hear the talk over and over and go, oh yeah, but nothing comes out the other end. And I think we're getting to the end of it. I hope. All right, what else you got, Mayhem?
All right, moving on from Kamala. California under fire for $9.5 billion spending on healthcare for illegal immigrants amid a budget crisis.
Yeah, but no one's illegal. Remember, no human's illegal, and everyone deserves access to world-class healthcare.
Yeah, California Democratic leadership is facing intense criticism as new reports reveal that the state is spending the $9.5 billion on healthcare for illegal immigrants, and that's why a lot of people in California are suffering. Emergency rooms are overflowing, creating dangerous wait times for patients. Hospitals are struggling to stay afloat because of the influx of illegal immigrants. Hardworking families find it increasingly difficult to afford their own health care, despite paying some of the highest taxes in the nation.
Well, they do this thing all the time. They're like, these people do nothing but come and contribute and do the jobs Americans won't do. This is such bullshit.
A lie from the pit of hell.
I agree.
In my tiny little cornfield town, every single summer, there would be busloads of illegal immigrants who would come in and stay at this ghetto motel called the Palomar, and they would wreak havoc all over.
And you're talking
our
about
city.
Illinois when you guys moved out to the sticks?
Yeah, when we were out in the country, every single year, these illegal immigrants would come. They would tear up like our soccer fields that we would practice on. They would be doing all this crime. Like, I cannot express enough how pro mass deportation I am. And then every time I say that, people are like, oh, you're going to hell. Well, if I go to hell, at least I'll have the documentation to be there.
Ooh,
okay, you are illegal in this country. So like, oh, like no person's illegal. If you are not supposed to be here, then what else are you? Because let me go to Mexico or to one of these other countries and try to tell them how to run their country and tell them that they need to be giving me benefits.
Well, there's certain things. Like, I work with plenty of illegal dudes doing construction my whole life. I work with dudes that had like 6 DUIs. And And it's a culture thing. It's like in the world they're from, you knock off on a Wednesday at 3:30 and you pound a couple beers like on the job site and you catch a buzz and then you get in the truck and you drive back to your old lady. You know what I mean? Like they're not culturally, that's where they're at. That's why they have so many DUIs, because it's like they're not like us culturally. There's certain things that are different.
I'll call ICE. I'll call ICE on all of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, also, if Canada said we're building a border wall, would any of us be offended? I'd be like, it's their country.
I'd rather shovel and help.
And would you want to, anyone you knew, like if there was somebody who you knew who just wandered into Canada, and it's like, well, where's Brett? Well, he's in Canada. Oh. Well, now they found him and they're bringing him back. Would you be outraged, or would you just be like, yeah, I guess Canada has the right to have borders and laws and they're a sovereign nation, so they can do what they want. Why is everyone so fucking outraged when we do it? You know, a wall, you can come here, you have to do it legally and lawfully, and then you can hang out here.
I mean, the analogy I give to people, it's like, okay, if you have a fence or a gate around your house, what is it that you're trying to do? And it's like you're just creating that extra barrier of safety and protection so random people aren't just sitting in your backyard. It's like, is that not the exact same thing? You don't have room at your table for every single illegal immigrant or every single person to come and eat dinner at your table. So why would we do that in our country?
Well, also, I mean, really just think about the math. Like, if there's a whole bunch of extra people here that are using the system, then yes, forget about the hospital rooms. Forget about the hospital rooms or the emergency rooms. Let's do it this way. Much easier to do. When I was young, you could go to the park on a Saturday and you could go use the baseball diamond, or make a nice football field in the patch of grass in the middle, whatever. You go there now, there's 29 soccer games going on. You don't get the baseball diamond or the patch of grass because there's a whole bunch of illegals playing soccer and taking up the whole fucking field. Now you can go, those are noble people, and those are good people, those are whatever. There's not an infinite amount of space at parks. There's not an infinite number of parks and baseball diamonds. If there's going to be a whole bunch of people here who like playing soccer, they're going to get there at 7 o'clock on Saturday, and when you and your white buddies roll up at noon, there's going to be no field left for your ass. That's how it works. So it's not so different than the emergency room, which is if there's a bunch of people that are here and they just happen to get to the emergency room before you, then you're going to show up and you're going to get behind them in line and you're going to have to wait for the baseball diamond or the soccer field. How else would this go?
I mean, that's literally what happened in my childhood. When I say that these illegal immigrants would go and be playing, and trust me, I know they're illegal because a lot of them would get deported. They would go and play soccer on our football training field, and then we would ask them to move, and then they would say, can we just have 10 minutes? No, get your ass off of our grass. Go pick up the credentials that it requires to be here, and then I'll be a little less pissed off. But it's not like these people come over here and they're mindful to our system. They weren't mindful when they came here, so of course they're not mindful when they're here. I'm for, proper immigration, people having the credentials to be here, but don't piss me off and come over here with no birth certificate, no visa, no green card, and then have the audacity to tell us how to run our country.
How close were you to DeKalb, Illinois?
Not that far. I think the way I was driving, probably an hour.
The first college Drew and I ever went to was DeKalb in northern Illinois.
Yeah.
And we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. They just booked us to play at college. I was like, what are we going to do, Drew? Let's go up there and talk for a while.
No one knows what they're doing in Illinois.
I don't know what's going on. But we got to DeKalb, Illinois, and I found out two things. They invented barbed wire in DeKalb. That's that. And the second is Cindy Crawford is from DeKalb.
Very nice. American treasure.
Yeah. Yeah, but I kept saying to them, it's not where you're born, it's where you end up. She was born in DeKalb, Illinois, and left when she was 13 and never came back to DeKalb, Illinois. That's not a tip of the cap to DeKalb. That's a random. Where you're born is random. Where you move to now as an adult, that's you making a decision. So now she lives in Malibu. So Malibu should be bragging that Cindy Crawford decided to move into Malibu, not DeKalb, Illinois, bragging about Cindy Crawford's dad forgot to pull out 13 years ago. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
So DeKalb, quit bragging about the person that immediately left and is never coming back. I don't know. It's a weird brag. It's the person got old enough to buy a bus ticket and left.
Yeah.
That's not that means you have a bad city, not a good city. The good-looking person wanted to leave.
Well, they want to be proud about something.
Well, they got barbed wire. They invented barbed wire, but then I explained to them, did you really invent barbed wire? Because wire and barbs existed. You just kind of made a peanut butter cup out of it. You don't think someone would have invented barbed wire? See if DeKalb, Illinois invented barbed wire and if Cindy Crawford was from there. But man, you realize when you get out of Chicago, you get into the sticks it gets pretty rural pretty fast out there, right?
Everything in my town was about corn. Like, we were the Corn Belt Conference. If you won a trophy, it was a golden corn cob. Like, everything was about corn in that town.
And they brought all the migrants or illegals in to do all the corn harvesting?
Yes. Every single summer, it would be like 3 bus loads. The Palomar Hotel was the pit of hell. Every time that there was a murder in town, it either happened at Fell Park, where the degenerates went, or Palomar Hotel, or motel, where all the illegals went. They even shut down one of the buildings, and they still went and stayed there.
Joseph F. Glidden invented barbed wire in DeKalb, Illinois. Patented 1874. Glidden was known as the father of barbed wire. Also, that could be confused with the person who played the dad of Pam Anderson in the 90s classic Barbed Wire.
Yes. Right.
Because that also was the father of Wire, Barbara Wire.
You know what's unfortunate about DeKalb? They have a corn festival, and they do not call it Corn on DeKalb.
Oh, you should be running for mayor of that
Seriously,
place.
I could win with that.
Cindy Crawford is also from DeKalb. Yeah, see, don't say I don't pay attention when you're talking to me about DeKalb, Illinois. I remember very well. And the other thing I remember, too, I'm from L.A. This is 1998, 97. And at some point when you do these things, you do the whole event, but the student union wants to meet with you and have dinner with you, and they do like a little part where they pay you, and then you go talk in front of 3,000 students. But before that, there's a thing where it's like the student union and some of the leaders want to have you for dinner or some event that just for them, take pictures and whatever. And we went to some old firehouse and something, or doing some dinner or whatever, and they pulled a casserole out. And I'm from North Hollywood. I'm like, I haven't seen a casserole since 1973. Like, oh, we eat casserole here. And I'm like, I like casserole. I just haven't seen a casserole in 26 years. This is crazy. But it made me realize, oh, this is Farm Belt. This is casserole country.
That's so Midwestern. Everything can be a casserole in Illinois.
They shouldn't call it flyover country. They should call it casserole country because it's got alliteration. It's like what Dawson was saying with Sorry. Casserole country.
I love a good green bean casserole.
Oh, really?
It's a Pontiac delicacy.
No, nobody should have ever fucked with the tuna casserole or the green bean casserole. Casserole was never broken. Why'd we get away from it? I mean, we're too snooty here in LA. We want to lower ourselves. We decided, oh, there's something called sushi and we should do that. No, man, casserole.
Cutting carbs.
Peak Caucasian culture is casserole. White people make the greatest casseroles. I will never even trust a black person's casserole. It has to be from the Caucasus Mountains, or I don't want it.
Yeah, no, it is. It's white man's fare. We do casserole. Don't mess with us.
And some celebrity news. Pete Davidson claims he was harassed about his love life because he's ugly. despite dating Hollywood hot girls. The comedian and former Saturday Night Live cast member has candidly addressed it. He's been linked to a lot of prominent figures, including pop star Ariana Grande, TV mogul Kim Kardashian, and reflecting on the media's portrayal, he remarked, "Everyone is dating everyone. It's Hollywood. But because I'm ugly, they wrote about me. I was harassed for like 5 years, and it made my life a living hell."
Shut the hell up, Pete. I'm sorry.
Pete.
It's like, okay, I'm so sorry. You got to date Kim Kardashian, Kate Beckinsale, and Ariana Grande. What did you think was going to happen when you dated some of the most prominent women in our entire nation? And now you want to sit here and play the victim like, oh no, like I'm famous and people asking me questions. Shut the hell up. Why did you even become a public figure if that was something that you were going to moan about?
We're looking
Objectively.
People like parody. They like the guy has to be as good looking, and we like people to look somewhere in the same ballpark. Kate Beckinsale, oh man,
Yeah.
You talk all you want about the Kardashians, but Kate Beckinsale, that's good. And I don't know, is there anyone better looking over 50?
Probably not.
I mean, Kate Beckinsale's like 54 years old and still a smoke show.
Say competing with Halle Berry.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. You're right, which goes to show that when you have the genetic hand, like the cut, I just call it a certain cut. Like Halle Berry takes all these provocative pictures because like you would too if that was just... You can age, you can get as old as you want, you're still going to have that same shape. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like Kate Beckinsale, 51, Halle Berry's, I don't know, 57 or 58. Wow. 58, but she still has that shape. And then you see chicks that are 14 that don't, it ain't about the age.
Yeah.
It's about the cut.
Yeah.
No, crow's feet start kicking in and stuff starts, hanging a little bit. But Halle Berry has a shape, and time is not going to mess with her shape. It'll mess with some skin stuff and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I know she's had some work, but even Jane Fonda's like 1,000, and she still looks good.
I know, and sounds sharper than ever.
Yeah.
She's a genius, that one. Jesus Christ. All right, sorry. I think Henry... Wait, what Fonda's coming on this show this week? Peter Fonda? They've got a...
We got a Fonda in the room.
Oh, no, we got a Carradine. Sorry, we got a Carradine. The Carradines, the Fondas, we got it. All right, sorry.
Davison's comments shed light on challenges celebrities face with their private lives become public spectacles, often leading to unwarranted judgment and scrutiny.
Yeah, but don't date super famous chicks.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah, I could just date a normal chick.
Easy to do.
It's like it's because people benefit so much from playing the victim that he has just realized that it's the niche that he was going to go into for a long time. Because, I mean, Jay-Z has been ugly as hell for a very long time, and he hasn't been complaining about being called ugly while dating Beyonce. Mm-hmm. He's up there looking like a live crustacean, but he's still happy with his life.
Yeah, I don't know if his tentacle hair is working out.
Yeah. He does look like Davy Jones.
Yeah. I agree. Well, so listen, like Pete Holmes is cute. He's like
Pete Davidson.
I mean, Pete Holmes, Pete Davidson. Pete Holmes is easy on the eyes too.
Yeah.
Pete, they're both comedians. Pete Davidson is cute in a kind of puppy dog. I'll kind of save you kind of way, and Jay-Z is not. He's a little homely. There's such a thing as homely. So. They like Pete, and then once. But look, here's how women work. Women, it's the same. Look, handbags. What's the deal with handbags and women? Who needs a $20,000 handbag? If you see a $20,000 handbag and then you see some knockoff being sold on the streets of Manhattan, it's the same. Same materials and everything. It's just not authentic. But what are we talking about? Other women want it. Other women covet it. That's where the argument starts. And all you got to do is get Kate Beckinsale to go around town with you for a while. Then you guys break up, and then Kim Kardashian comes in because Kate Beckinsale is one of the most beautiful women in the world. And if she's with you, then I have the okay to be with you. That's how that works.
Yeah.
And that's when the dominoes start falling.
they elevate you to a whole new tier. Like the second Ariana Grande and Pete broke up, I knew he was going to be with a list of famous women after that, because he has the cosign now, the stamp of approval. They have entire shows about people who've been divorced by their famous husbands. The Real Housewives, majority of these are like basketball wives. Majority of these people aren't even married to the people who made them famous anymore, but they're still famous just because they used to get shacked up with some of these famous people, like Shaq.
We got Jay-Z and Joe Camel.
Spot on. Oh man.
And that's a flattering picture of Jay-Z, mind you.
Yeah, yes. It's the most handsome day.
He's actually moisturized and hydrated that day.
All right. But what about Chris Carter and Godzuki in the fake? No, but in the annals of a real celebrity person, Chris Carter, Hall of Fame, Minnesota Vikings, just caught touchdowns, and Godzuki, who's Godzilla's son, in the fake department. Don't.
Why?
I mean, who's closer? Because who's closer to a creature that man just drew?
Yeah.
I mean, although a man didn't draw Godzuki, he was made like out of styrofoam. But is Jay-Z closer to Joe Camel, or is Chris Carter closer to Godzuki?
Yeah, I'm voting Godzuki all the way.
I gotta go Jay-Z. I mean, you can't convince me this isn't the same image.
Back to Godzuki.
Have you ever seen Robert Parrish next to Calibus from Clash of the Titans?
No. Celtics,
it's
Robert Parrish?
Yeah.
No.
Dig that up.
All right. Work on that. Got another story, man?
Well, yeah, Saturday Night Live, we're talking about Pete Davidson, celebrates his 50 years and his rankings of the top cast members. I don't know if you have your favorite, but there's some highlights here.
Pete Davidson cannot be anywhere near that list. Ever,
No.
right?
I mean, he's not on this list, that's for sure.
I mean, if you went top 2,000.
I know. Yeah, he was a nice bit player. He was like I don't know, like a
He was the worst. He was,
yeah.
he was amongst the worst on that show.
But he was the only guy who could play Rami Malek. They looked exactly the same. They did a funny bit where they were each other.
All right.
But some highlights from the top 30 here. Bobby Moynihan from 2008, 2017. A lot of versatile characters, and including the memorable drunk uncle. Moynihan's 9-season tenor showcases ability to blend.
Wait, what number is he coming in?
I mean, this is like just highlights from the top 30.
Oh, okay.
So they didn't give me the
I didn't
exact
think
one.
Moynihan would make that, but all right.
Yeah, I thought he had some good bits, and also on the Christmas special, he did like a strange. He always had this funny song that he would do. Sherry O'Terry is from 95 to 2000. She had energetic performances of zany characters. A lot of highlights with her and Will Ferrell. I know.
That's true.
Tracy Morgan, he did Tracy Morgan played himself about in every sketch from 96 to 2003.
There were more. Eddie Murphy did Tracy Morgan during the 50th anniversary, and then Tracy Morgan played Tracy Morgan or played somebody else.
Darius. He played a guy named Darius. But Eddie Murphy does fun. Tracy Morgan's pretty good. It was.
Not as good as like Jay Morris and guys that like really do it, but yeah.
Yeah, Mike Myers, of course, on the list, 89 to 95, created Wayne's World. Gilda Radner is on there, one of the original cast members.
Died young.
Yeah.
Like ovarian cancer, maybe 48 or even younger, maybe like 42 or something, married to Gene Wilder.
42, huh? Yeah.
She died. I went on a whole deep dive because I was watching a Gene Wilder doc, which I've seen before, but it's good. Gene Wilder was a real talent and did a lot of stuff, Willy Wonka and Young Frankenstein and all that kind of stir crazy and all that kind of stuff. And married Gilda Radner, and then Gilda Radner died at like 42 or something, 40, young 40, in her 40s, for sure. And then there was a whole
but I went on a whole dive. I wanted to see when Marty Feldman died. Marty Feldman with the big bulging eyes. He died in 48.
Damn.
And then the guy from Monty Python who died young also died at 48. Yeah, killed at 42. Yeah, Graham Chapman died at 48, and so Marty Feldman died at 48. And then, Dawson, I'm looking at you. There was a famous Western actor, and the reason his name was Gig Johnson or something. Gig was his first name. They wanted him to play the sheriff. No, they wanted him to play Gene Wilder's part, the Waco Kid, in Blazing Saddles. Gig Young. Gig Young was a Western actor from back in the day. So I was like, what happened to Gig Young? He was did John Wayne movies and stuff. He was a famous actor. I just went to his online. Gig Young got married and killed his wife, I think on their wedding night, and then killed himself.
Damn.
And it wouldn't get that much publicity, but that was a pretty bold move for a famous guy to do back then.
Wow.
Yeah. He was a famous actor. He got an Academy Award. What? He was like well-known. I mean, he was well-known enough so that when they did Blazing Saddles in 1975, Mel Brooks is like, well, we'll get Gig Young will do it. He hired him.
Yeah.
And it turned out he was drinking a little too much, and it wasn't up to the thing. But it's not like he auditioned or anything. He was a famous actor.
Yeah.
Dawson, who did he kill? Did he kill his?
He killed his 31-year-old wife when he was 64. 3 weeks into their wedding.
Oh, 3 weeks, and then killed himself.
Yes.
Did he say why, or like?
Bitch couldn't cook. It's a pretty crazy thing for a famous guy to do for his young wife.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
Not even a month into the marriage.
Just got to Chris Benoit from WWE. Remember that situation?
Worst. Yeah.
That was traumatizing.
Yeah, he won an Academy Award. Won an Academy Award for supporting. And They Shoot Horses, Don't They? I guess in 1969. No suicide note, no anything. It was like an impulse buy. It was like, oh, we got into an argument with my bride of 3 weeks.
You just over it.
Does it say 3 weeks on there?
Yeah, it says 3 weeks.
Bride of 3 weeks, killed her.
Jeez.
No motive.
Just killed her, then killed himself. And society moved right on.
The honeymoon is over.
There wasn't any TMZ back then. It's just like, all right.
Or Wendy Williams.
Or Wendy Williams. Yeah. But that's pretty hairy. Also,
The gnarliest thing I've heard today. All right.
31-year-old's like, what the? I think he was an alcoholic. I think this is an argument for not having a gun in your nightstand because I think there is no suicide note. There's no nothing. He's probably drinking and raging pretty hard. They probably got into a pretty big blowout, and he just went and fucking got the gun and shot her. And then once he shot her, he was like, no.
Now I gotta go.
Now I gotta go. Yeah.
Too easy.
It's like I'm doomed.
All right. So on that super positive note,
Nightmare.
all you Gig Young fans out there. Oh, let me see if I can cleanse everyone's palate.
All right.
Playmate of the Year, 1980, 79, 80, 81. Gig Gangle. You want to see a piece of ass? Gig Gangle. Playmate. Gig Gangle. Just to cleanse your palate in the negative gig.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very positive gig.
Yeah. It's a nice gig economy.
And who knows where she got her name? Maybe after the famous Gig Young. But her name was Gig Gangle.
Hey-o.
Oh, yeah, just go to the cover. But I mean, you want to. Remember I was explaining earlier sort of how you're cut?
Yeah, exactly.
She was cut very nicely.
Does she still look like that now?
I like to think. I don't know. Ask Pete Davidson. He's banging her. You guys know. If you find the cover of her Playmate of the Year, she did a spread. I think her and Burt Reynolds are on the cover.
Wow.
But there is a playmate named Gig Gangle who does not get her due when people talk about whatever. Oh, she is. Let's find me that cover. She is one of the hottest playmates ever. You can put it up there if you got it. Or any picture of Gig Gangle. I'll accept that. Yeah, there's Burt. There's Burt Reynolds. Gig Gangle from what year is that? 78, 79?
Yeah, I don't know. But ass standards have certainly changed because she is, quite a flat one. For
79, that's only from your neighborhood.
That's true.
You grew up in a black neighborhood.
That's true.
People are also just so used now to girls filling up their asses with cement.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
Like they got in Brazil.
Yeah, find another good shot of Gig Gangle. And that was her name, as far as I knew.
This is the America that I need Trump to bring back.
Yeah,
culture was peak.
I totally agree. You see how happy Burt Reynolds was with Gig Gangle? All right, one more picture of Gig Gangle, then we'll go out on top. You guys can just Google image.
Yeah,
some
let's see
Gangle.
those gangles again.
Yeah. Let's see. All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, gangle.
That's a good-looking woman
Those are
right
a couple
there.
of good ganglers right there.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you. I'm all gangled out.
All right. So there's your happy gig. Xavier, let me give you a plug and tell people to check out your YouTube show, Respectfully Xavier. That's available on YouTube. Also, PragerU stuff. How can we find out about you on PragerU?
Yes, head to PragerU.com. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. Please make a tax-deductible donation to keep all our videos free. And then I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, etc. All at Xavier. Twitter's at Xavier D. Can't get that username.
You can go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows coming to a town near you. And until next time, this is Adam for Xavier, Mayhem, and Gig.
Thanks for having me.
Mahala. Yeah, good job there, Dawson. As I said, well, because I think maybe the genesis of this is a million years. I looked it up. Like, Ben Shapiro was coming to talk on the campus of Cal Berkeley, and they all had to hit the streets and protest and set the fire alarms off and do all they do. And then I said, I'm sure I would be uninterested in most of all the lecture series that Cal Berkeley had to offer if I was just looking at the calendar for their student union, but I just would not attend.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be interested, but I wouldn't want to deny the other folks who want to learn about gastro whatever in 1800s Vienna. That's their prerogative.
Sure.
And I wouldn't go in there and rip the alarm and ruin the event, because that would be super narcissistic and super very un-golden rule-y. So why don't you just let the folks go watch the stuff they're interested in, and then they'll let you watch the stuff you're interested in, and then we could have a civil society and get the fuck on with our lives. But you won't do that because you have now labeled the diminutive Jew as dangerous in Ben Shapiro, and now you're thus making yourself a hero by inserting yourself into a situation that has no danger, but you get to be the hero by pulling the smoke alarm.
Yeah, the people that go against comedians getting up on stage just because they don't necessarily tell the same jokes that you like. Heaven forbid that people who 6 sold out shows in Minneapolis all got canceled because you didn't like one joke that a comedian told.
Right. That's what happened. What was the comedian's name?
Ben Bankus.
He did you know him?
I don't know him, and I don't know anything about him. The one thing that drives me insane about it is, you can be a civilian. You don't have to be in comedy, but if somebody's coming to your town, you don't like it, you can make a big stink. Fine. I don't think that person should be canceled. What really chapped my ass about it was Minneapolis, St. Paul comedians that were going and saying that this guy should not be allowed to perform because, somebody wrote the other day, hey, they came for the journalists, and then they came for the immigrants, and next they're coming for the comedians. And I said, that's not true. The comedians are coming for the comedians.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Sad.
ridiculous. It's sad. It's a sad state that it's in. It sucks.
Sad when comedians have to fucking do that. I totally I totally agree.
Yeah.
All right, news.
Do some news. All right. California Governor Gavin Newsom shared that the 463-mile section of the high-speed rail, Adam Carolla, is finally ready for construction.
Oh, it's good after 17 years or 20 years.
So I'm here in the Central Valley in Wasco, right near Shafter, and we just made an announcement of our progress here on the high-speed rail system. We're now in the process of starting to lay track, 119-mile.
By the way, hold on a second. So here's what he did. I mean, let's just see if we can summarize. He's been talking about this boondoggle for well over a decade. It's turned to shit. Everyone's now looking at California because we looked at Minnesota, and I don't know what the population of Minnesota is, but whatever fraud you guys have in Minnesota, we have that much more fraud just by our population size.
Absolutely.
So,
we'll get to that in the news in just a second,
if we're 20 times bigger than Minnesota, I'm assuming we have 20 times more fraud than Minnesota. So that's going to hit hard. This guy's running a national campaign now, wants to be president, so he's got to go back and try to clean up some of these messes of his past. And this train thing is going to get shoved up his ass every time he goes out on the campaign trail, because there's not a train, and it's billions of dollars in the hole, and it's years and years in the making, and we don't have anything. So all of a sudden, the guy who doesn't give a shit about the train, because he hasn't for well over a decade, appears to give a shit about the train because he has to get ahead of this freight train that's filled with a cargo of shit that's about to collide into his campaign.
Lay the track down.
That's right. So that's what he's doing, and he's basically like the shitty alcoholic stepdad whose son just got cast as one of the cast members in Stranger Things, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, Mark, do you need a ride to the park? Why don't we toss the ball around?" It's like, what do you care? What do you care? All of a sudden you care now? Yes, I care because of this. So he wants to create this. Now, the problem is he doesn't have anything to show for it, so he has to stand in front of a real train that actually exists.
That's not moving.
Why?
Ironically.
Why do you have to stand in front of a freight train that was built in the 40s to tell us about your bullet train?
Did you hear the words he said right when we were cutting out there? He said, "We are beginning the process to prepare to lay track."
That's right.
That's a lot of pre.
I would say almost everybody who doesn't own a train is in that phase of train construction.
Right. I'm in that phase right now.
You are?
You are?
Is Andrew in that phase? He's in that phase.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I'm thinking about pre-production on a train.
I'm preparing to train for a marathon, but that I need to prepare for the training that I will be preparing for.
The band Train is actually thinking about preparing for a train.
Yeah. In fact,
I
bet Train has laid more tracks for trains than the actual state of California has laid. The band, yes.
I'd say, well, they at least tie. So anyway, he wants to get ahead of this because he wants to get ahead of this train that's going to hit him, basically. Sorry, go ahead.
119-mile first phase, fully funded because of the investments we'll make through the Cap and Invest program through 2045. 1,700 people every single day, union jobs.
By the way, hold on a second. The Democrats have this thing of like, if we can create tons of jobs, if they're like, look, we've got 1,700 union jobs and they're making saddles for horses that nobody needs, it's still a victory for them because you've got 1,700 guys doing a job, getting union wages, being employed over something we don't need, which is the same reverse thinking of AOC getting the Amazon hub shut down in her district, which is, well, I just saved you guys a bunch of money because we made a bunch of tax incentives with these guys, and now we're going to keep that tax money. It's like, there is no money. There is no facility. There are no jobs. You're not keeping tax money. You made tax incentives to attract them to build a hub, but then you went back on it, so they're not building the hub, and you have nothing. So you have nothing, and then you have people, 1,700 people, shovel-ready jobs, union jobs, doing a job of getting people from a part of the state to another part of the state that no one ever travels and is completely unnecessary. And I will tell everyone who's listening, as a person who lives in California and has always lived in California, I will utilize this train as much as anyone listening in Gary or Muncie, Indiana, will utilize this train. And so will everyone else in California, which is zero. It's not, when you go to LAX and you look up now and you see this monorail thing that they're working on going through there, I have a thought in the back of my mind, which is, maybe one day I could use the monorail because I go to LAX and so do a lot of other Los Angelinos. This Bakersfield to Merced, I don't know the scenario. Like Dawson travels through that neck of the woods a lot, but he does it in his car. What are you going to do? Park your car and then take a hour and 45-minute train ride and then rent a car? Like, what is even?
Well, here's the.
I go to Pebble Beach and go to Laguna Seca every single year and do car races. You just I drive a car, though. Where's the train? Who's commuting?
The freeway, the 5 freeway from Bakersfield to just below the Bay Area is 2 lanes the entire way. If they actually thought that people would be driving this distance, they're going to clog up the freeways. It's 2 lanes for over 200 miles.
Yeah.
It's been that way for the past 50, 60, I don't know how many years.
There must be like a pot of cash.
First of all, there's no way to get there.
Yeah.
First of all.
Yeah.
And no one ever goes there.
No one ever
I
goes
was
there.
telling Rudy before this is the very first time in the history of press conferences that Shafter, California was mentioned.
Yeah. Well, usually you can go back and try to find where the money is, and sometimes the government is like, we don't have enough money coming into Los Angeles from the middle of the state, so let's figure out a way to get these poor people from Bakersfield into Los Angeles to start spending more cash. That's the only reason I can think of why they would build a high-speed rail. Why not San Francisco to L.A.? Why was that such a tough spot?
This is only the first leg, eventually.
Eventually. He's talking about 2045. That's when they're going to actually start on this high-speed train.
Whoever our new governor is, the first thing they got to do is widen the 5.
And pull the plug on this.
They won't do it as long as this train is still in someone's dreams.
Wild.
Who's got the bullet train to nowhere that's going to a place no one wants to go? Shafter? Just talking about trains. They say that Gavin Newsom's one bad mother. Just talking about Shafter.
Shut your mouth.
Just talking about Shafter. I'll get AI to do a Shafter bullet train song. Andrew, bullet train, Shafter, Newsom, Shaft, AI, comedy cover.
Who is the train that's completely covered in graffiti?
Shafter! I do want to say something about the Super Bowl. I had a thought. We watched it the other day. And I don't know the name. You got to look it up, Dawson. But 5 field goals, the kicker. 5 field goals, the kicker for Seattle kicked. And man did not even get on the podium at the end. Couldn't even find him. No interviews with him.
Not at all. Not a one.
Now,
Jason Myers.
Jason Myers. All right. So Jason Myers, and you can keep looking, Dawson, but Jason Myers set a record, a Super Bowl record, 60 years. He set the record, 5, and then he also set it for points overall for the season. I think 206 or 4 points or something like that. So crazy. But he kicked 5 field goals and set a record in the Super Bowl. And the guy who got the MVP ran well. Many guys have had good running days in the Super Bowl historically. Some of them won MVP, others didn't. I don't think he scored a touchdown. When is it? Did he score? He didn't. No, they got a junk defensive one at the end.
Yeah,
he didn't score a touchdown.
Yeah, I think he had a couple of first downs that sort of kept drives going to eat up the clock.
He did a good job. Here's a question. Has there ever been an instance of a running back getting MVP of the Super Bowl who didn't score a touchdown? I don't think that I don't think that exists.
Yeah.
I can't think of that, number one. But number two, he did a good job, but they do co-MVPs. Mm-hmm. And the kicker, first off, was 12-0 going in at half. The kicker was responsible for literally all the points until the game was a little out of hand.
Yeah.
But he set the record. So why not co-MVP, or why not at least let the guy up on the podium up there with everyone else, the coaches and the quarterback, and everyone celebrating? Like, I would have got. And then when the quarterback got up there, he goes, I got to thank the offensive line. Defense played lights out ball, wide receivers catching and blocking, coaches doing. How about the guy who kicked you into the victory?
He was literally thanking like assistant towel boys before he thanked the kicker.
Marcus Allen
for the Raiders.
Yeah, he won the MVP without scoring a touchdown.
Wow.
Hold on, Dawson. He had the famous reverse course run that scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Hold on. This is AI that's feeding this to me, so it's possible. It says yes, a running back has won the MVP
Who is
award for the
smarter than
Super
the
Bowl.
computer?
You are, absolutely, you are. Without scoring a touchdown. The most notable example is Marcus Allen, who won Super Bowl MVP while playing for the Raiders.
One of the most famous runs in Super Bowl history, besides John Riggins' run, was when Marcus Allen was doing a sweep and reversed course and went. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Iconic run. Now, did he not score on that run? He had to score on that run.
In the game against the Washington Redskins, Allen rushed for 191 yards, had 2 receptions for 4 yards, but did not score a touchdown. His impressive rushing performance helped lead his team to victory. That's all this says.
Now, was that? Well, first off, yeah, that's good. But he did the reverse course on the Redskins, I think. Or was it the Raiders playing the Eagles?
Boys,
Maybe.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is where the rubber meets the road, and you're about to get your asses handed to you, because every time he says, that doesn't feel right, it always comes back in his favor, every single time.
Well,
AI is the quickest way to try to find these
two
answers,
receptions
but
and
it's not always
194 yards. It's not bad. And Marcus Allen and the Raiders have played more than one Super Bowl, and they beat the Eagles one year, I do believe, and then maybe the Redskins. So maybe the famous reverse run was against the Eagles, although I don't think it was. Just type in famous Marcus Allen run Super Bowl, and that one will come up. We're also getting the lyrics ready for Shafter.
Nice. Speaking of songs and kickers.
Oh, wait a minute. Can't copyright. They can't violate copyright. Yeah, sorry. What? All right. Wait a minute. Yeah, go ahead.
And I was going to say, speaking of kickers, there's a famous Adam Sandler song called The Lonesome Kicker. Mm-hmm. And he was in attendance yesterday at the Super Bowl. At some point, wouldn't it have just been apropos of him to just grab an acoustic guitar and go sit down next to that Seattle locker room while they're all spraying champagne, and just him and Myers are just sitting out in the hallway, just crying into each other's beers.
I want to put this little hypothetical in everyone's brain. I yell at Rudy all the time. I'm smarter than a computer. You do understand I beat the computer. The computer has every bit of data on the planet, but it can't fucking smart me.
No.
Look, I did not doubt you.
No, I'm telling you, man. Who is the man whose crystal brain is smarter than AI?
Damn right.
Yeah.
All right. That was against Washington, and he scored a touchdown. Why is that not
on YouTube? Marcus Allen turns nothing into a 74-yard TD in Super Bowl XVII.
Right, but why is that not super available? Because it's all just data. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we can watch the play. Yeah, it's iconic. Give it to him on a sweep. Breaks up, stops, goes the other way. God bless Plunkett. Plunkett runs in front like I think I may block someone, and then forget it. And Cliff Branch gets down there because he's got wheels. But anyway, all right, we got it. All right. I bring it up again. I do not think there's an MVP running back who did not score a touchdown.
Well, if the example AI gave was Marcus Allen, yeah, not one exists.
Right. Okay, so this guy gets MVP without scoring a touchdown while making a very great contribution to his team, but I would argue 5 field goals as a record, and by the way, a couple extra points. They're not chip shots these days. They're not gimmies. I mean, the 2 extra points of field goal, the guy's good for 17 points.
Yeah,
himself. Okay, co-MVP, but here's your little thought experiment. What if this kicker was black? People would be fucking outraged right now. We'd be hearing, if this kicker were black and he was not up at the podium at the end with the coach and the quarterback and the running back and a couple of players.
Sure.
And let's just say, you tell me what LeBron James would say, right? What he'd be tweeting. Mm-hmm. What would LeBron James be tweeting if Christian McCaffrey won the MVP as the running back?
Yeah.
And the kicker was black.
Sure.
What would he be saying? And what would every asshole on Sports Illustrated be saying? And what would every talking head on CNN? What would they all be saying right now if this guy were black? And by the way, I would argue if he was black, they would have given it to him because they would have went, let's not go there.
Yeah, to be fair, if he was black, he'd probably be a skills player, is all I'm saying. Maybe a running back, probably a wideout, more than likely.
But if he was the kicker.
Yes.
And he was the black kicker, and the running back was a white running back, this wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. Somebody would look at it in the booth, and they'd go, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like these optics. And by the way, take him and put him up on the fucking podium, you idiot.
Yeah.
You can't have the quarterback with the red beard not thanking the black kicker who kicked. They would call him racist.
Yeah.
If LeBron James would be going fucking nuts right now if this was a black kicker and he set a record and was completely snubbed, not mentioned. And by the way, no sideline interviews with him, no quarterback shout outs, no coach, nothing, just snubbed. LeBron James would be going nuts, and he'd be going, this is racism. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Mm-hmm. It's so easy to read into everything.
Yeah, if he was a black kicker, they probably would have given him MVP even if he hadn't kicked a field goal, just to make sure that they were like, yeah, field. He's on the field. He made it as a black kicker. You deserve a trophy, my friend.
Chef. All right. So there you go.
All right.
What else?
You got to keep moving? All right, Here we go. So this has been coming up in the news again. This is a couple years old, but it's been getting shared as of recent. Gavin Newsom vetoed a bipartisan bill to audit the $24 billion that was quote unquote lost on homelessness since 2019, meaning that Newsom blocked the investigation into the missing money. So the reason why this has been going around is because Governor Gavin Newsom now files a civil rights complaint against Dr. Oz in videos about healthcare fraud, saying that he has targeted the local Armenian American community in a series of videos about healthcare fraud.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's watch this.
You can see these are medical buildings. They've got Cyrillic writing, Russian, Armenian writing. Both sides, there's lots of action, it seems. I don't know how many patients are getting care, but in this 4-block area in Los Angeles, there are 42 hospices. So either there are a lot of people dying here, or you've got a fraudulent activity that is so good that everyone wants to get in on it.
Yeah.
I'm in bed now.
Armos will tend. I think there are Somalis. Mm-hmm. You know, you got the Somalis over there. We got the Armos over here. Mm-hmm. They'll engage in some fraudulent behavior every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's a cultural thing.
Well, sadly, it didn't start until after they came to America, obviously. They were very good, wholesome people back in their homeland.
Yep.
And then when they got here, things changed. Yeah.
So they are our Somalis, if that's what you want to know. And Garagos would say the same. And he's Armo.
Yeah.
He'll tell you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so is there more tape, by the way? Or are we good?
There was still some more. Yeah, if you wanted to watch a little bit more of this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look. You can't tell people you'll get paid by creating some daycare thing or hospice thing or kids on the spectrum thing. It's just going. everything is dogs at the airport. Dogs were not allowed at the airport, and if you walked in with a dog, you were asked to leave. And then we said you can take the dog to the airport and travel with it on the plane, but we're on the honor system. That dog has to be a service dog, and now we have tons of dogs at the airport because the honor system doesn't work. And by the way, interestingly enough, mostly women exploiting that dog at the airport law. I see many more women than dudes, but I see plenty of dudes. If you're going to create a system, the system will be exploited.
Sure.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm in Van Nuys in Los Angeles, and this boarded up area above my head here is a big hospice center. There are apparently quite a few hospices around here, 42 within a 4-block radius. And these guys stole $16 million. Listen carefully. The main guy went to jail for 2 years, for stealing $16 million, which is a good trade-off for a lot of folks. And if you look at it, it's pretty in the script. There wasn't anyone really in there. They weren't doing any services. They just got an address they could claim was a hospice, and then they ran the business, claiming people were at home getting services, which they really weren't. What we have learned is there's roughly $3.5 billion of fraud taking place here in Los Angeles in hospice and home care. It's run quite a bit of it by the Russian Armenian mafia. You notice the lettering and language behind me is of that dialect. And it also highlights the fact that this is sort of an organized crime, mafia deal where you've got folks who are systemically recruited doctors to write false prescriptions, hundreds of doctors participating. They've got 100,000 patients who they've tricked or paid to give them their beneficiary numbers so they can perpetuate the fraud. And then the criminals are just running the whole organization and quickly scurrying away when law enforcement does get around to prosecuting them. Unfortunately, in California, there has not been a lot of attention on these problems. That's going to change. The U.S. Attorney...
you can pause it. Yeah, but now, see, the thing that's great about Trump is he has punked the Democrats into defending all of this shit.
Yeah.
So now he has Tim Walz, your mayor, your governor and your mayor, and our governor and our mayor going to bat for the fraudulent people that are ripping off the taxpayers because he's fucking duped them. And actually, they're dumb, so they just do like Walz is a dumb dude.
Sure.
And they're now having to have press conferences defending the people that are ripping off the taxpayer, which is comical. 10 minutes ago, they were defending the narco drug traffickers whose boats were being blown up, or Kilmer Garcia that had to protect the Maryland dad. Like they're duping, Trump is duping these people into defending the worst people in our society on 90-10 issues who want these fucking people out or these shops closed up. But listen, unless you think anyone in a doctor, whatever, clinical setting won't just do. Remember we just had COVID, and remember they just told the hospitals, if you tell everyone people died of COVID, you'll get $50,000 or whatever it was, and guys that died in motorcycle accidents were getting labeled COVID so the hospital could get... Okay, that's all anyone ever does.
Yeah.
They're just gonna fucking exploit it. So if you make a system that tells the fucking hospital, write down COVID and we'll give you $50,000 because you're interested in lying to the American people, hospitals who are in the business of making money will gladly write that down when the guy's got a piece of rebar sticking out of his side.
Sure. I saw something. I never believe what I see on the internet, especially Facebook, but I saw something about 2 minutes before the mics got hot, which was apparently Tim Walz had sent out they send out the mass text messages. Hey, this is Mike Lindell. I'm running for governor, whatever it is. Apparently there was one that Tim Walz had sent out. It never came to my phone, and I have a Minnesota number, but it was basically his defense fund. Like,
yes.
Hey, we got...
he's raising money now.
He's raising money now. Like, well, isn't that sort of indicative of what is to come? Like, he's kind of already starting to, much like Gavin Newsom starting the train, just going, hey, man, they see what's coming up in front of them.
There's also a version of life where you run the shit out of your state, like lean and mean, and people are happy.
Yeah.
I mean, we just got back from Naples, Florida. No garbage, no graffiti, no homeless,
Perfect.
Clean, lawns mowed, people taking care of business, go down to the car show, bunch of clean, nice people and clean, nice cars and clean, nice streets. There's a version of this where you actually just efficiently run your state, and then people go, good, I like that guy.
Yeah.
I want to live there.
Amazingly efficient and very nice, gracious police officers that don't pull you over at 1:30 in the morning
Oh,
when
my
you
God.
go left on a red.
Yeah, man, we went left. We blew through a red, and the cops rolled up on us.
Hit me with the flashers behind me.
Yeah.
It was like, hey man, yeah, because we had a rental car, and I listen. I got bit by my own snake because the first thing I always do when I get a rental car is you got to turn the lights, because sometimes they just have the regular headlights. They don't put them on auto. So you got to put it on, make sure it's on auto, because that will get you every single time you get in the car at night, and then your taillights aren't on because the headlights come on. So I didn't put it on auto, but the cop saw us and just like literally hit me with the flasher and just went, hey man, turn your lights on. And we went right back. That's what I love about Naples.
But that's after you. People should know we drove through a red light.
Yeah.
For a cop to do this.
Yeah.
We pulled in front of him through a red light, and he pulled behind us and flashed.
Was it
us.
an unmarked car? I mean, that's the one thing you have to look out for is where's the cop.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. I'll tell you what
move
happened.
around. Yeah.
I'll tell you what happened, and I'll be truthful. You look for cops, and then you go through the red arrows and the red lights. And I do all the way up and down PCH all day, every day. I just drive through everything because I just look in my rearview mirror. But at night, there's headlights in the distance.
Okay.
And the cop
Could be
cars
tucked
there.
in on a box truck. too, or
Cop
something.
cars there are white. They're just white with a little green on the side, and they're just like Ford Explorers or something. And it's off in the distance, and they're on the main highway, and they're kind of moving like 60 miles an hour. And you do have to roll the dice a little bit because
Yeah.
there's always going to be headlights in the distance, and then you basically just have to go, I'm going to run this light. What are the chances those headlights I see in the distance are a cop?
CHP.
And the answer is not very good, but not impossible.
CHP is starting to do that now. They just got a bunch of SUVs.
Oh, yeah.
Mid-size SUVs that have the decal on the side is only visible at a certain angle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you can, like I said, there's always going to be headlights because it's a main highway. And you just got to decide, do you want to do this or not?
No, it's understandable. I've seen the California Highway Patrol ones, and those are difficult to spot.
Sure.
Well, at night, headlights are headlights. You just can't. Everyone's driving the same version of something, and the headlights are just a headlight. So you can't even read them like you used to be able to kind of read headlights for cops, motorcycle cops, and stuff like that. Now they're all in Ford Explorer, so it's like that could be anybody at any time. We rolled the dice. And the guy was moving.
He was. Yeah, he was on his way somewhere for sure.
Right.
Yep.
So he flashed us, and we turned him on.
Yep.
Based on reports from January 2026, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has been facing scrutiny for fundraising for a personal legal defense fund. Yeah. Well, he knows there's some there. Now, he'll try to paint it. Look, here's the deal. They'll try to paint it as, well, Trump's just going after his enemies. All right, you guys just went after Trump, but he's not in jail because he didn't have a case. You know what I mean? Like, if there's no case, there's no case. Trump is allowed to go after whoever he wants to go after, but if there's no there, then there's no case.
Sure.
You're not going anywhere. If he didn't do anything and there's no paper trail and there's no anything, then I do. It's that same thing. It's like he's just walking around Tom Homan and kicking open doors and grabbing citizens and disappearing. Yeah, okay. No, that's not what's happening. And I don't know anyone that's happened to, and neither do you. So shut the fuck up. But if you're here illegally, or you're, part of the Armenian Russian mob, then yeah, maybe you should be looking over your shoulder. So Tim was up to something, or up to nothing, which is just turning a blind eye to. Look, again, we get back to stupid or liar. Karen Bass, either you did nothing and just watched your city burn to the ground, which means you're a fucking horrible mayor. And Tim Walz, maybe you did nothing while billions of dollars of fraud just walked out the front door of your state. All right, either way. Do you understand? Either way, you're fucking guilty.
Yeah.
You understand? And you have a fiduciary duty when you're at that. You are the elected whatever. Yes, it is on you. And you go, I didn't know about it. Okay, well, then you're dumb. and you're really bad at your job.
Yeah.
Either way, you got to go. I mean, it's this scene with De Niro and Billy Bob Bumpkin, whatever, in Casino. He just went up to him and he goes, this slot machine just hit 3 big hits in like the last hour. Now, either you're in on it or you're fucking too dumb to get involved with this. But either way, you're out.
Right.
I don't know what it is. Are you part of this, or are you just sitting and watching it? But either way, you're off the floor.
Yeah.
It's just an expansion of the stupid or liar argument.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
All
Can
right.
we pay this off really quick, though?
Yeah. Oh, now I'll tell you what. Let's grab it in the next show. What do you got? Something to pay off? We'll tease it.
Did you get a
for
ticket?
tomorrow's show?
No ticket.
Oh, no. He was praising them. All right. Texas coming up. Just go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows over there. Dallas, Texas, Comedy Club Hyenas. And just go to adamcarolla.com for all that. Rudy?
Yeah, next week on Thursday, February 19th, and Sunday, February 22nd, I'll be headlining House of Comedy in Minneapolis. Go to rudypovichcomedy.com.
Hi, Adam. This is Stacy from St. George, Utah. If those pronoun people want to be known as they, them, then charge them for group rate. Problem solved. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Alicia Krause, birthday girl, is in studio for
Yes.
some news.
I have some news. Hey, I appreciate the lady on the voicemail.
Yeah, I do
We need
too.
more chicks on the voicemail.
I agree.
Come on, ladies.
Come on, ladies, step up on the voicemail.
I know you're out there. I see you in the comments. Hopefully, none of your lady fans are down in Mexico right now. There is some insane news out of there. The United States Department of State issued a shelter-in-place warning for the U.S. citizens in popular tourist destinations in Mexico, including Puerto Vallarta, I'm going to butcher this, Chapala and Guadalajara. The alert also listed multiple states, like Nuevo Leon, as places where Americans needed to shelter in place. The warnings came after an outbreak of cartel and military violence in the region. The U.S. State Department said that they want Americans specifically, and even like some Canadians. It sounds as if the cartel is going after just like white people because they're pissed off that due to ongoing security operations, one of their leaders was killed, and now this is their retaliation, is to just go through the streets like burning cars and killing people.
Well, it's something that's pretty foreign to us, but not to them, which is they essentially have armies, militias, cartels, well-armed, trained guys with assault rifles and like grenade launchers and stuff, who just sort of whack up the country and into regions and run a narco-terrorist thing, which, by the way, I want to just explain to everyone everything for just a second, because the chickens are coming home to roost here in the United States to some extent, and in Europe, certainly. There are groups and nations and lands, and everyone wants to celebrate diversity. Well, they're different. They do different things. They eat different things. They celebrate different ways. They watch soccer instead of football.
They don't have sandwich moms.
They don't have sandwich moms. They don't even have sandwiches, some of these nations. And they do things differently. And some of the stuff we like. Some of the stuff is sort of like when you go down, I'll give you an example. Everyone who goes to Japan tells you how clean it is.
True.
Because they're a tidy culture. Now, you can go, good, bad, I don't know. They clean shit. They like clean stuff. And that's kind of good.
And very minimal.
I like it that way, too.
Yeah.
I like clean stuff, so that's good. And then there are other cultures that perform female circumcisions, and I don't like that. Now, you go, is that a bad culture? Is it a good culture? It's a different culture. Some stuff you like. Some stuff you don't like. Now, we have a country and we have a border with two nations, and one is Mexico and the other is Canada. And Canada operates one way and Mexico operates in a very different way. Now, if you let a whole bunch of people from Canada over into the United States, there's going to be some marginal changes, like putting mayonnaise on fries or something. and watching a little more hockey and and a little more hockey and a little less baseball or something. But it's going to be pretty marginal stuff. But if you take large groups of people, think it'd be a good idea to live in a narco state with a bunch of warring factions who are heavily armed and who have a saying, take this to the politicians, take the silver or take the lead, either take the money or get killed. If there's a lot of those people and they come here, we'll expect results that are consistent with what they're doing in their state and their country, which is consistent with every country everywhere. So my argument is it's not necessarily that people coming into your country is a bad thing. It's what country did they leave? And the ones they're forced to leave are usually the worst ones because of things like this. But whatever it is they engage in over there, a percentage will engage in it over here because that's part of their culture, just like the music or the food. And Mexico's piece of shit, and it's a failed state. And I don't know why that's a hate crime.
But it has so much if the president, I don't know, I was seeing some footage recently of their president who hates Trump and told Trump to, tell her how to govern and all this stuff.
Right.
And prior to the chaos that occurred over the last couple of days, she was saying something about I can't really go after the cartels because that would be a violation of their civil rights.
They can't go after the cartels because the cartels are more powerful than they are.
Yeah.
Okay. I have spoken about this solution for more than 30 years into a microphone.
Okay.
The solution for Mexico, what will fix Mexico permanently. Mexico is not fixable because it's 100% Mexico, and that's not good. It needs an influx of something else. Also, Israel will never be fixed because it's surrounded by terrorists who are anti-Semitic and want all the Jews to die. Now, it's not because they want Gaza back or they want that's two separate homelands, or no, they hate Jews and they want them dead. Now, if there was something in Israel where it's like, oh, the Palestinians are reasonable people, they just want a little land on the coast back or something, that's fine. That's a negotiation. But if they want all Jews dead, well, then it's really a tough negotiation.
Yep.
What I'm saying, and I always said to Israel, you live in a giant ashtray filled with homicidal people that want you dead because you're successful and because they have horrible religion. Mexico needs Jews like no other state. There's no country that needs Jews like Mexico. Mexico is so short on Jews and lousy with Mexicans, and that's the problem.
Interesting.
The Baja Peninsula, which I have driven, is some of the most breathtaking. It's where the ocean meets the desert.
Yeah.
And it is breathtaking. And it's not so different than Israel. I've looked it up. The average temperature, climate, everything. It's all about the same.
So we need some Jews to reverse Aliyah.
We need all the Jews. Listen, give Israel, give it to all your homicidal neighbors. They'll turn it into a shithole in 10 seconds. And you guys move to Baja and take over Baja. Baja will now have the greatest resorts and in general, whether it's governance or whatever it is, you guys need Jews in Mexico. And I've always said, for a place, that lives off of beans, they don't have a lot of bean counters. They don't have a lot of money people. They don't have a lot of
I feel like we need to get you on the phone with Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff about this.
If you did a pilgrimage of Jews to Baja California, and let them take over and start setting up businesses and start getting an infrastructure and government and all that, then Mexico would be a utopia in about 20 years.
So I did not have that idea, but we are kind of simpatico on the comparison to Israel because I thought that much like it was so hard for the IDF to tamp out the regime, Hamas regime, in Gaza, because what do? They put themselves in tunnels and in schools and in hospitals and amongst the innocent population.
Yes.
That's what the cartel has done in Mexico.
Yes.
That you can't just go bomb a village where they might be because that village has innocent women and children in it
Yes.
that are just trying to live their daily life.
Yes.
And probably dreaming about coming to America one day. And it's very difficult to just like wipe them out.
No, that's why we need to just classify them as terrorist organizations.
Well, the
and
Trump
go after
administration
them.
has like labeled them narco-terrorist organizations, which was one of the things that AOC and Ilhan Omar were really upset about when he kidnapped
Well, by the way,
Maduro.
if they're upset, you're on the right track.
Exactly.
Those dumb bitches, if they're upset about something, it means you got something right. Dawson, average temp in Jerusalem.
It gets chilly there.
Okay, it can get cold on Baja.
Yeah.
The right
just
season.
at night and then
The average temp in, I don't know, let's say Rosarita, California, Rosarita, Baja, Mexico. Let's say that's a nice little surfing, fishing village somewhere or a little further down than
I don't know.
Ensenada.
I mean, have you seen these videos though?
No,
let's watch some of them because I don't know if they see these videos, they might be like, never mind.
We're not going to show the Jews the video. You're not going to do it. Do you hear me?
Okay.
I'm trying to entice them.
Just be like, there's no Hamas, but you might have to tamp out these cartels.
Well, when you're living with homicidal maniacs that are they're putting explosive vests on 9-year-olds.
Yeah.
These narco terrorists are walking the park. I mean, you got to deal with Hamas, right? But like I said, these guys are garden variety narco terrorists, not suicidal jihadists.
That's true. Like these guys just don't like authority and they're pissed that their cartel leader died and that maybe some of the cops aren't taking their money.
Yeah, but there's
so this
no
is like retaliation.
They don't blow themselves up in pizza parlors.
But I mean, this is kind of insane that we're seeing this from the cartel. They were going, like, they're just blowing up cars in Puerto Vallarta. They were going into the airport, like, shooting at people. That is terrorism style attacks that we haven't seen by them before. And we know, like, especially here in Southern California, there's like enough of the gang activity here that a part of me yesterday went, I wonder if they're going to like call up their buddies in the States and want to do something here too.
This just in. First off, Tijuana and Tel Aviv. I mean, it almost sounds the same.
Travel from Tel Aviv to Tijuana on one direct flight.
Yeah, that's like 3 beers from being the same place. Tijuana, Tel Aviv, you know, both on the same latitude, line 32 degrees north. So they're on the same latitude. They're the same temperature. They're the same climate. The rainfall's about the same. Average temp's about the same. I guarantee everything's the same.
Wow.
And you have a beautiful Pacific Ocean just coming up against this red clay desert.
Okay.
Spectacular.
Okay.
And totally undeveloped.
What? Yeah. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised Trump hasn't said that he wants to take it over and build a big resort.
I'm telling you, man, gather up those Jews. Turn that place around.
No. Let's
Gather
not use
the
that
Jews.
language.
Oh, okay. I guess a little history.
Please.
Entice the Jews.
Yeah, just put together a nice brochure.
Nice brochure. And then we gather them. And we take them.
Yeah.
Take them to Baja.
Okay.
And it'd be a settlement type thing. We'd have incentives. You know what I mean? We could have land would be cheap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tax free, maybe.
Yeah.
You would say they have lots of builders.
Oh, it'd be like 6 acres and a piñata. We'd put a kind of a thing together and they could all go there. They don't have any building codes or anything over there. You do what you want.
Yeah.
Freedom, baby.
Interesting.
And I don't know if you've been down Baja, but it is beautiful.
I've only been to once a long time ago. We did a morning answer cruise.
You
guys ever do that? Like a listener cruise?
Yeah, I went on a cruise to Ensenada with Jimmy a million years ago.
Yeah. So it was me, Ben, and Brian, and we did like Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, and Cabo.
Beautiful. Yeah,
And
that's further down. We just did the Ensenada one.
And I'm supposed to be in La Paz next couple of months. Like in a couple of months, but I don't know. Maybe not anymore.
Well, the cartel leader was killed by Mexican special forces.
But apparently there was some rumblings about it being a joint operation with the U.S. State Department, but who knows?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't know if there's film of it, but I'm telling you, I stand by my Tijuana plan.
The film of it is insane. Like, is this? This is the airport.
Oh, they're setting stuff.
I think that's Jalisco.
People running through the airport.
Yeah, just like
I haven't even seen all this. Fires
Burning
everywhere.
cars.
Burning cars.
airport.
People hiding behind stuff.
It's horrifying.
Burning buses. Wow. It is chaos, man.
It's scary. And all, obviously, like all U.S. airlines are like, peace, we're not flying in there anymore.
Right.
Specifically to these regions. And I guess we'll see what happens.
You know what I found really weird?
That's Puerto Vallarta, by the way.
That's Puerto Vallarta?
Yep.
I've been to Puerto Vallarta a few times. Puerto Vallarta. Wow.
Yep.
You know what's weird? I was flying into like Puerto Vallarta or somewhere in Mexico, and we were taking off from LAX, and as the plane was like an Aeromexico plane, and as it was taking off, the cabin, the door to the cockpit flew open, was just flapping back and forth, and I remember going, that's an unreinforced door, and it's just flapping back and forth. How come it's not reinforced and locked? And the stewardess was like, it's registered in Mexico or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but it's flying over Encino. Like, if a terrorist takes over this plane, he's going to hit Sherman Oaks. He's not going to hit Mexico.
Yeah.
We're here. And they're like, nope. And I'm like, really? So you're so lawless that your cabin doors are literally just slapping in the wind upon takeoff.
Yeah.
It's great culture over there. Wonderful. And the people, it's not, let's see, it's not the people. The people are the best.
Yeah.
It's the government.
Yeah.
Who are Mexican, but.
And honestly, there's probably like 100,000 Mexicans born in Mexico that I would rather have in the United States than Gavin Newsom types.
Oh.
You know, like the born here people that are just, America is the worst. It's like, let's ship them down there.
He grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. Hard
his
scrabble.
His dyslexia
upbringing.
is now his new talking point. Have you seen this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got dyslexia. Well, we'll play it and then I'll weigh in.
He got all pissy about Ted Cruz talking about his dyslexia, and now Gavin Newsom is getting some, I think, rightful pushback for telling a black mayor, quote, "I'm like you," before quoting his low SAT score.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. You know, I'm a 960 SAT guy. and I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940. But
Deep leg
literally
cross.
a 960 SAT guy.
Deep leg cross.
I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. Maybe the wrong business to be in.
Yeah, got dyslexia.
So, like, why is this a thing now? I mean, the guy has
Dyslexia
been
or now?
him talking about his dyslexia so much
All right.
now. Your whole career.
I will explain it to you.
Okay.
And it's got the Ted Cruz answer or whatever. That's the one. It's a text, a tweet.
Oh, there's
Andrew,
also
with Ted Cruz
there's some updates in the tweet department too.
Oh, Ted, tweet back. Okay, first off, when we were bitching about the Burbank City Council shutting down Tin Horn Flats, my friend's family business for over 50 years, and how tyrannical they were, one of the lead guys in the Burbank City Council's explanation is he has a mental disability or something. Anyway, he's like half-tard. And I'm like, so your argument is I'm retarded, so let me run your city? Like, I can't read, let me lead the nation? Like, I'm a dumb shit, so vote for me? Which is a weird pitch, because it used to be, who's the wisest man in the land? You know what I mean? Who's the most scholarly? But now, I'm a dumb shit, you're a dumb shit. Dumb shits love dumb shits.
Maybe part of the reason why our California budget is so screwed,
right,
and the fire departments didn't get enough funding is he got the numbers mixed up.
Yes.
Quite literally.
Yeah. So what it is? All right. Couple things with his dyslexia. He is a male, heterosexual, attractive, full head of hair,
tall,
and
Cute
white
wife.
and white.
Yeah.
So he wants to be the head of the grievance party who does as a black woman, as a gay man, as a whatever, marginalized individual. And his group, if you're not marginalized, you can't rise to the top. You need to be the first woman of color and the first openly gay, whatever, the first trans, whatever. You need to be the first tranny, whatever, to run the Department of
So
Labor.
he's going to be the dyslexic dude.
As a dude, you can't hang a lot of stuff, especially, look, you're talking to a tall, great-looking white dude who's heterosexual all day long. Okay, so I
Also in
get it.
California.
Also in California.
Also kind of rich.
Also kind of rich. So what do we do? Well, you can go dyslexic, or you can go Crohn's disease. But nobody wants to picture you gassing out on a commode, so we go dyslexic, right? So now you can gather. Now you're never going to be the first black, lesbian, whatever, but you can get some points in a party that gives out points for disabilities.
Yeah.
You can be that. And you have to go grew up poor. You have to do the grew up poor because that's what your party.
Or single mom, too.
Like
heaven forbid you have two married parents.
No,
then we know you're
that's
already
the
up
problems with modern society.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
two parents. So you have to go single mom, hard scrabble, wrong side of the tracks, and dyslexic. And then what you can do there is you can counter some of the tall, good-looking, rich, white mantle.
He thinks.
Well,
With the deep leg cross.
It's an attempt, but that's why he's hitting it hard now, the dyslexia.
So you wanted to talk about this Ted Cruz thing. This was from a while ago, but now there's an even greater battle that I'm excited to talk about after you look at these tweets from Ted Cruz that you like.
Well, you can read. Well, there's one that came before this. I think
Ted Cruz talked about how Gavin Newsom is historically illiterate.
Oh, right.
And then Gavin Newsom was like, he's calling a dyslexic person. And to my knowledge, like 2 weeks ago, this was the first time Gavin Newsom was like assuming that Ted Cruz should know that he's dyslexic and therefore can't go after him.
It's, by the way, it's like Joe Biden had a stutter. Like you made up some shit we've never heard.
Yeah.
By the way, Dawson, I don't know why I'm looking at you. There's countless footage of Biden at age 47 just in front of Congress, like waxing on for 20 minutes at a time about the illegal aliens and not raising taxes and all the stuff you agree with. I don't hear him hiccup or stutter. I don't hear anything.
No.
So what do you mean he has a stutter? Where is this mystery stutter that I can't find tape of?
There has to be footage of all the times Gavin Newsom has read a teleprompter.
Yes.
Like, how does he... Anyway, so this is the greatest reader's note ever because X now adds context, and it's like, Senator Ted Cruz did not refer to Governor Newsom's ability to read, but rather his knowledge of history.
Yes.
Historically illiterate refers to the knowledge of history. Newsom left the word historically out of the original tweet, which says historically illiterate. He wasn't calling him illiterate.
Right.
So now, after this video of him trying to say, I'm just like a black man, which is such an insult, it's like, he's assuming that the black man got a low SAT score.
Right.
Sean Hannity ripped him a new one, my former boss and your buddy Sean, and it is so good. This whole thread here is like amazing.
By the way, before Alicia goes in on that, look up the definition exactly of illiterate because he's going, you're saying I'm illiterate and I'm saying I can't read because I have a disease. But if you can't read, then you may be illiterate, even if it's a disease causing your inability to read.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
And there's lots of ways we can learn about history. So this whole thread, if you could just click on that for me, Andrew, that'd be amazing. So Sean Hannity says about this clip, he thinks that a 960 SAT makes him like a black American. Let that sink in for you. Gavin Newsom then responds, you didn't give a shit about the President of the United States of America posting an ape video of President Obama or calling African nations shitholes, but you're going to call me racist for talking about my lifelong struggle with dyslexia? Spare me your fake effing outrage, Sean, which is kind of crazy because like he and Sean like They've done some buddy interviews before. So then Sean responded again, like literally right before we went to do the show today. Gavin Newsom, you didn't give a shit being Joe Biden's public spokesperson, knowing that Joe Biden partnered with the former Klansman Robert Byrd, and they tried to prevent the integration of public schools. So spare me your effing fake, phony, feigned outrage. And how about you get homeowners building permits in the Pacific Palisades? The only thing that Sean could have done better in this tweet, Sean says, get homeowners those permits in the Pacific Palisades instead of making an ass out of yourself daily, just a thought. 100%. With the addendum, he could have also added an Altadena, a historically black neighborhood that you seem to not care about or talk about anymore.
See, I was right on this. He's saying, you're saying I'm illiterate, but I'm dyslexic. And the answer is yes.
Then you are?
You are illiterate. Here's from the Oxford Dictionary. Unable to read or write. So if you have a disability that makes you unable to read or write, then you are illiterate. You just have an excuse, but you're still illiterate, retard.
Yeah, 'tis true.
And you're too fucking dumb to even know the definition.
Yeah.
So yes, you're illiterate because you have a disease that you, by the way, it's made up, but you have a made up disease for you.
I don't think dyslexia is made up.
No, made up for
It
you.
is made up,
That's
yes,
why I
100%.
paused and said for
Sorry.
you.
Yeah.
That says you cannot read. So if you have a disease, look, you can go, if you're in a wheelchair, you can't dunk a basketball. Or you can't dunk a basketball and you have use of your legs. But you're saying you're in a wheelchair. How dare you accuse me of not being able to dunk? And I'm saying, you're saying you can't read or write because you're dyslexic.
And
so
Ted
you're
Cruz
now illiterate.
was also just adding that he's historically illiterate, which is fact check true as well.
That's true as well. All right, so he's got disease. Now, let me explain something. He's just talking down to black people because that's what they do. That's their constituency. They're the black folk, and they talk down to them because they think they're dumb, and they want to get the votes of dumb people and black people, and that's why they speak. When they speak to them, they speak in their vernacular, and that's why they have hot sauce in their purse, and that's why they go to the black churches and go, I ain't tired no more. That's like Hillary Clinton.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't been no ways tired was actually what she said.
Yeah, it's
Hannity
awesome.
used to play that all the time. It's seared in my brain.
It's awesome.
For 1,000 years.
But I'll tell you the interesting and the real racist part of being illiterate and being dyslexic. Because I know it. I have lived it myself. I is a striking 6'2" debonair man of non-color, heterosexual.
Kind of rich.
Well, but this is pre-rich.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't always
But you were kind of
rich.
funny. Ladies like that.
The ladies like the sense of humor. I could not read or write myself my whole life because I never learned to read or write. And it was literally not learning to read or write. And that's
in a public school, just being like, send them off to the next
warehouse.
It's just like
that's right. We got the school to prison pipeline for the black kids. We got the warehouse for the white kids. So I got into the warehouse.
Okay,
that's my privilege.
Okay.
So I got pushed along, and I never learned to read or write. And then when I was older, people understood that I didn't read very well at all. I didn't write very well. And people think, oh, you just automatically know how to read. No, you don't. Think about all the early settlers that came into the western towns or something like, well, have the one guy read the newspaper because the rest of the guys on the farm didn't read because no one went to school and they never learned how to read. Okay, so I was told that I was probably dyslexic.
Okay.
People come up to me and go, come on, you're dyslexic. I go, I don't think I'm dyslexic. I don't know how to read. I haven't learned how to read. And by the way, there's nothing inherently that makes sense about the three different ways to spell there. You either learn it or you don't, you know what I mean? Or you know, antique or unique.
Yep.
You wouldn't know how to spell any of that. I would just spell everything Phonetically, that's what it sounded like.
Which is
to
a
me.
teaching style now, by the way.
Oh, boy.
You should have been homeschooled.
I don't know. What parents would do that?
Mine.
What kind of irresponsible, half-drunk parents would force that upon their daughter? One day, if I ever meet your parents, I'm going to set them straight. Your dad's going to extend his hand. I'm going to kick him right in the nuts.
Just be like, why would you do that
If he
to
ever had the guts to show up at this place, I would give him a piece of my mind. Now, that's never going to happen. But if it does, be prepared.
I'll warn him.
You tell your dad and your mom that I'm disgusted in what they did to you.
That they chose to
robbing you of a childhood.
In a warehouse.
In a warehouse. Now, they're here.
They are here.
That's why I said
They wanted to meet Adam on my birthday.
All right, so everyone said, well, Adam, you're smart and you're funny, and so you must be dyslexic. And I said, I don't think I'm dyslexic. And they said, well, you should get tested. And I went and got tested.
Yeah?
I know exactly. It was on Ventura Boulevard and like Encino in an office building.
Reading centers? Was it a Leering Center?
Yeah, Leering Center. I had a nice Somali lady. So I got tested for dyslexia. And when I was done, they just said, you're not dyslexic. You just don't know how to read. And I said, that's what I suspected. But I had to shut up all the people who are well-meaning.
Yes.
They're like, come on, Adam, you're a smart guy. Come on, don't tell me. You must have a disease. But here's the part that I found interesting. If you're white and you can't read, you're dyslexic. If you're black and you can't read, the system let you down and you fell through the cracks and you had teachers that didn't care.
Oh, but that's
we
all
never
one-sided.
go, you must be dyslexic. We go, oh, inner city guys. School never. So busy running from gangbangers to school. Why can't black people be equally as dyslexic as white?
Also, why
Dyslexia is
can't
like
white people also be let down by a shitty public school system?
I was a white guy who fell through the cracks.
Yeah.
And it's not like sickle cell. I mean, I would assume. Well, I don't know. Now we got to look it up, Dawson. It's dyslexia. It's only white people who are dyslexic. Tom Cruise is dyslexic. All the big stars, they always claim they're dyslexic. I never heard a black guy say I'm dyslexic.
That's true. Like you hear like, and I think it is a real thing. I actually think my husband is dyslexic and probably my own father. But like, you hear like Tom Cruise, Dax Shepard talk about being dyslexic. You don't hear Kevin Hart and Denzel Washington ever talk about it.
Famous black people with dyslexia include actors Will Smith, Octavia Spencer, boxing legend Muhammad Ali, now musician Harry Belafonte.
Wow.
And activist Malcolm X. This is some great, but does it affect white
you're saying
people
like
more? Well, first things first.
What happens
First off, anyone who can't read as an adult should say they're dyslexic, because otherwise
It doesn't matter what color you
it
are.
looks bad on you.
It says that black people are much more likely to go undiagnosed.
Aha.
Yeah. Also, do you know that women and girls tend to be undiagnosed or diagnosed later for a lot of things?
Yeah,
than guys are.
Dyslexia always just seems to be the realm of the white dude. I don't hear women talking about it. I don't hear Hispanics talking about it.
Maybe
Asians,
just because women are smarter.
I don't think they allowed Japanese to be dyslexic. I think they will take you out and drown you. They will not. Have I ever heard a Japanese guy who's dyslexic? I don't think they can say it. I think that's part of the problem.
It's just something. It's an unspoken rule.
It's not pronounceable for them.
Oh.
I'm saying they physically can't say. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Famous black people, actress Will Smith. Okay.
So yeah, it could be that the system does fail them, but the system is failing white kids too. And
right.
Also, I feel like sometimes middle-class white parents are like hyper aware of these things, or as people become more successful in adulthood, they can self-diagnose or figure out issues and all that stuff. And like, I think that sometimes real Americans, no matter what color they are, like they just got to go to work and stay married and maybe have a vacation once a year down to Puerto Vallarta. The terrorists aren't blowing it up.
They opened everything up to the spectrum, and then once it's the spectrum, then everyone has a little dusting of Asperger's and dyslexia, and everyone's got everything now.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So Gavin Newsom, he thinks black people are dumb, and he's going to go talk down to them, but he needs them to vote for him. But I never really get the thing. And by the way, black people, this is on you. You vote for Democrats, they talk down to you and think you're dumb, and you just keep voting for them. You should be insulted by the way they talk to you.
This is what concerns me a little bit with agree with what ICE is doing, but the public perception of what ICE is doing isn't going great right now. And the general public says, polling wise, yes, we want closed borders. Yes, we want safer streets. They just don't like to see the masked guys, and all the media coverage of it, right? Because Hispanics, and I think you've seen an increase for President Trump and the GOP under him, specifically back in 2024, Hispanics are coming to the right, and slower Black Americans are coming to the right. And so therefore it's like, let's just continue to spread the message that we're all equal, and let's not blow things up politically speaking, and then go the opposite way. Like, Democrats do need to be careful of just constantly relying on these constituents that they tend to just treat like dummies, quite literally.
Well, they'll import some new ones. The old ones won't vote for them. All right, you got another story?
Oh, we do. Have you seen those kind of RV encampments all over Los Angeles?
Have I seen them?
You know that they have they're like literal slumlords. Guys will have these broken down RVs and they cart them around the city, and they make these poor homeless people pay them, sometimes with horrific acts, sometimes with cash, sometimes with drugs. Well, now LA wanted to dismantle these homeless RVs, and a judge shut that down.
Well, first off, these judges, I have no idea what's going on. These RVs, I used to, thankfully, the only good thing that came out of the Palisades and Malibu fire is the RVs got destroyed. The RVs,
where all the drugged up homeless people were living.
Well, the RVs were lined up all down PCH. And, okay, first things first. And Dawson, on the computer somewhere, I used to film it all the time and give it to you guys. And we'd show it on this show. So it lives in the computer somewhere. God knows if it's labeled correctly. I'm guessing not. But I took many videos. So PCH would have them lined all the way up and down PCH. And it would go from the most beautiful view in the world, which is the Pacific Ocean, to rusted out, busted up piles of junk RVs.
Yeah.
There's nothing more depressing.
It's not even like a cute old Airstream that somebody's fixing up. They were gross, tan, rusted.
You know the thing that's kind of funny, stuff in life, like the sad stuff in life, like destruction and famine and blight and garbage and stuff is bad, but there's something that gets sadder. Like when you see an old concentration camp, you go, oh, that's sad. But it was always sad. It was never Disneyland, and then they turned it into a concentration camp. RVs and kids' toys are the saddest when they go south.
Oh, yeah.
Because RV used to mean family, recreation, see the nation. Like when that thing sold new in 1981, there was some nice family going, we're going to the Sequoias.
Yeah.
This is going to be awesome.
Yellowstone, here we come.
Yellowstone, here we come. It's a Chevy Chase movie.
Yeah.
And now it's the saddest thing ever. And that's the same way with kids' toys. Like sometimes I'll be driving down the 5 and you see the weird homeless encampment and you see the weird kids' plastic castle on the side. And you're like, ugh, Barbie's dream castles on the side of the 5 freeway.
Or like the little trike that was meant for a toddler, and like the streamer, but no tires.
It gets sadder.
Creepy.
Right. So the RV that once was the best day ever for that family is now guys cooking meth, and he's living for free by PCH. And I used to film these things up and down PCH because there were, I will say, at some point I counted like maybe 28 of them just going all the way up and down.
Yep.
Now, the lots after the fire down PCH are selling for $6 million a piece. Or for free, you can park an RV and get the same view. And I was like, what is going on? You guys are handing out speeding tickets left and right, but these things, who, by the way, empty their septic tank into the ocean.
It's so gross.
It's not like they hire some professional honey dipper to come out there and take care of it. I think that's what we called those guys on the job site. The whole point is of course it's illegal. Everything's illegal. And as I was, yelling at Steve Hilton. Here's the society. Here's what Malibu is. If you want to park your junker RV in a no parking zone, just on the side of PCH and stare at the ocean and cook meth all day, you can do that for free. If you try rebuilding your house in the Palisades with no permit, you're going to get arrested.
Yep.
That's the law.
Yep.
And that's how we enforce the law.
Yep.
And then at a certain point, you have to ask yourself, well, what do we want more of and what do we want less of? Like, would you rather have more people just paying for their own rebuild and doing it professionally in the Palisades because they have to live in the house? They're not going to make it dangerous. Or a bunch of junkies flopping out and busted up RVs. So somebody made this law.
Yep. AB 630 apparently says that you can't just have these RVs sitting on the side of the road. And Gavin Newsom signed it into law, and it increased the financial threshold for LA and Alameda counties, allowing them to dismantle vehicles worth up to $4,000 and clear the streets.
Yes,
of these
they're
RVs
parked everywhere.
And that are parked everywhere. Well, so now there's a new state law pushing a new bill, or a legislator pushing a new bill to let every city in LA County dispose of all of the RVs. But a judge in a Superior Court ruling, it was only 2 pages, which is a pretty easy read when it comes to judge writings. Judge Curtis A. Kinn said that Los Angeles officials lack the legal authority to carry out the state law that permits the dismantling of this. And he says, quote, AB 630 provides no such authority to the city of Los Angeles to continue forward.
Yeah, we're looking at Forest Lawn, which had a ton of them as well.
Yep.
But there's none on there's no footage of PCH that we can find. So Dawson, how do you figure it? I just give it to the old guys and they don't label it, I guess, is how we do it. We don't label anything.
Is that
here.
like that stretch where the studios are and then like the Toluca tennis club and stuff like that?
You want to buy a house there, it's $5 million. But you want to park an RV there and do whatever you want, you can do whatever you want.
They did finally, so there was like the RV ban lift briefly during COVID, which was bullshit. And then they were like started to enforce it a little bit. I was passing schools.
Oh, and listen.
And I'm like, how the hell are we letting these guys just like camp out in front of schools?
Could you imagine? I know guys who like bought a house in Venice Beach, built a $3 million house there. They're small lots. The front yards are not deep, maybe 12, 18 feet or whatever. And an RV just parks in front of them. And it's some crazed man just either has sex with prostitutes or sells crack, literally just in front of your house all day.
Yeah.
And the city can't do anything about it.
It's not
Which is insane because the city can tow anything and do anything. I have a big dually Ford F-350. I was hauling a race car up to Laguna Seca, Northern California, a couple of years ago. Tabs were expired. Cop pulled us over. It's like, all right, just fix it, ticket. No, we're towing it. They towed it to the law. They towed it. It was a tabs expired, duly registered, but the registration expired. They impounded it.
Because you're the guy.
Because I have money.
Yeah, you're
the guy. They can do whatever. They didn't know I had Crohn's or dyslexia.
You're a dyslexic dude.
All right, let's see. You can go to adamcarolla.com because Friday, Saturday, going to be in Dallas, Texas at Hyenas doing stand-up there. Earthquake, you can find his special on Netflix, Joke Telling Business. Leisha Krause, birthday girl, op-ed for the Washington Examiners, where you can find her.
Yeah.
With all the good ideas with the folks listening in the back. Sharp cookie. Nature or nurture, they did something right, Alicia
Made
Krause.
me sandwiches and homeschooled me.
Oh, that's good. All I got was a knuckle sandwich. So, till next time, Sam Crow for Alicia Krause and Earthquake saying mahalo.
Hey, this is Paul from Iowa. I think it's time to just bring New York to fruition and make it like the movie Escape from New York. Just border it off and let it happen. I mean, that's what's going to happen. Take the cops out and be done with it. Fence it off. Thank you. Bye.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Well, I'll go with that, but I want to give Dr. Drew some time to clear out his condo because it's in New York, and it wouldn't be fair to him without letting him get some of his clothes and stuff out of there.
The condo you like to stay at from time to time. Did you stay there last time?
Yes, I do like to stay at Dr. Drew's condo because it's free, but we have to pay for the cleaning.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Heaven forbid. That's like an Airbnb.
Yeah, but it's nice. I do realize as I get older, like Airbnbs are fun when you have a group of people,
Yes.
and condos are fun. Like it's fun because normally you come home for the show or from the event and you get in the elevator and you go, I'm on the 7th floor, I'm on the 4th floor. Okay, see ya. I'll see you in the lobby. Or whatever. But this time you go back, you have a drink, you watch TV.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it.
I get that with a big group. It's nice. But I stayed at a hotel a week ago or so in Florida, and it's nice to have somebody else make the bed. You come back with fresh towels and a nicely made bed and a little chocolate on the pillow. It's lots of fun.
That's not chocolate. That guy wiped his ass with that. Here's a question.
It said Ritz-Carlton dark chocolate. So
here's a question. I do not like the people coming in and making up the room in between me being there and me leaving.
Does it feel like a violation of your personal space, or what's the reasoning?
It feels so. Okay. I'm trying to think. If I am alone, I will stay in a room an indefinite amount of time before I will take the do not disturb off the thing. If it's 2 days, I'll do 3 days, whatever, standing on my head. I have no thoughts about it. Now, once in a while, I might say, could I get a couple coffee packets or something? But like for me, especially where I come from, beds were never made. We didn't have a top sheet. There was no comforters, no dust duvet cover, anything dust ruffled. So I like my bed unmade.
Yeah.
Because to make it means I have to sort of undo it to get back into it. So the bed's a 0. My stuff is kind of strewn about.
Oh, you're not an organized traveler?
Not so much with like the drawer. A towel, I feel like I can use a towel, air dry it, and use it again for 6 years.
Oh, I do that at home because you're clean when you get out of the shower. But I'm saying at a hotel, it's nice to be like, get me a fresh towel. Even though they leave those signs that say it's bad for the environment.
I realize I have a general poor wiring for having people do stuff for me. Like I just the other day my girlfriend was like making eggs or something, and she said, "You want some eggs?" And I was like, "No, I'm good." And then she mmade eggs, and then she left, and then I got up and made eggs, and I was like, "Why didn't you just take the eggs?" And I realized because my default wiring's going, no, I got it. Like if I was carrying something or doing something, someone goes, "You need a hand?" I'd always go, "No, I got it." But that's my I just say, "I got it."
Yeah.
I don't know why I would say that. So it's like the maid coming in and picking up the towel off the floor. I go, nah, come on.
I can do that myself.
I just have a thing. There's a little invasion. Like a little sense of...
they see some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I got some cash laying around or something.
Oh, I wish I had cash laying around.
But no, I will gut it out in that room for as long as I have to. And then when I leave, I get very anal about taking the do not disturb thing off because I don't want them to think I'm in there when I'm heading to the airport.
When you're already gone.
Yes.
Do you take the time to check out? I don't ever do that anymore.
No, I don't know that that's a... I don't even know how that works anymore.
Right?
The other thing that's funny about...
Everything gets emailed to you. It's on an app. Like you see your Marriott points,
The other thing that's funny about the hotel is I never know... They got the little snack bar and the kiosk down by the front desk. So like sometimes I'll grab a water and I'll go walk up to the front desk and no one's there. And I go, all right, I'll just walk to my room with it. And they don't really seem to care
like the little cafe setup. Like it's like a concession stand almost.
Here's what I would say. Do not steal things, but you can walk up to one of those things at almost any time, get a Bud Light, and walk down the hall with it, and no one will ever stop you or say anything.
That's funny.
Like there's not anybody at the front desk. Anyway. All right. News. What do you got?
On to some news. I'm interested to see this. I have not watched this video yet, but Nancy Mace was grilling Tim Walz, our favorite governor and VP candidate for president, over the Minnesota autism spending during a fraud hearing that occurred earlier this week. The tense moment unfolded during the Minnesota fraud hearing when Representative Nancy Mace, interviewed her before, great gal, sharply questioned Minnesota Governor Tim Walz over the state's spending on autism programs, pressing him on how much funding had been allocated during his time specifically in office. During the exchange, Mace asked Walz to specify the amount spent on the autism-related services in Minnesota during a single year of his administration. He was unable to provide the figure, and fireworks ensued.
Here we go.
How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2017, Governor?
I don't have those numbers in front of me, Congresswoman.
Did you prepare for this hearing today? Did you
I
do
did.
any preparation
I take
for this hearing
Congress
today?
seriously.
And you've seen the numbers about autism fraud in Minnesota. So we're going to do some Minnesota math with you today, okay? Are you ready?
Are you
How
ready?
much money was spent on 2017 for autism in Minnesota? How much?
I don't know. I wasn't the governor.
Okay. Did you not just say that you prepared for this hearing today? $1 million, okay? A quick Google search or using your AI could tell you $1 million was spent. How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2024?
I don't have the number in front of me.
Governor in
Hold on a
2020.
second. They never have anything in front of them.
No, but also you think if I take Congress seriously and I prepared for this hearing, under your watch, you think you'd know.
You
But
also
alas.
kind of have to know. Here's what I would imagine, and I don't know if you've ever been through this indignity before, but the reason we all know who Dr. Phil is because Oprah got sued, and there are whole companies and lawyers involving prepping you to go in front of
To do
judge,
depositions and all that stuff.
depositions and going in front of court, and they literally have these little mock. I'm going to ask you this. Don't answer that way. Be
I did
prepared
do
for
mock.
this.
I did do mock trial and debate in high school, and you do the same thing before you go out to that competition. You practice debate with everybody.
Was that in your kitchen though? Because you were homeschooled. You're like,
No, I went to a camp.
would explain why you should have top ramen at 11 a.m., young lady.
No, it wasn't the homeschool class of one. It was like a little debate camp.
Right. So he must have prepared. So they must prepare you a little bit, little prep, and then the subjects they're going to bring up with him is fraud and all the Somali daycare and all this kind of stuff. And this is all at the very top of the list. This is not a deep cut. So it kind of reminds me a lot of like when Kamala Harris was sitting down with Lester Holt, and Lester Holt was like, have you been to the border? Have I been to the border? Have you been to the border? We've been to the border. We've been to the border, but you haven't been to the border. I haven't been to the border, but I haven't been to Nova Scotia either. What's that? I don't get what you're asking. It's like, bitch, that had to be number one in your prep thing. And what Attorney Mark Garagos would just say is, have you been to the border? And the answer would be, no, I haven't. So then you say, I'm very busy. I have a lot of people who've briefed me on the border, and I'm actually planning a trip to the southern border as we speak. And I'll let you know. And then let's talk about Joe Biden's favorite ice cream. But you don't go, it's like, come on, you had to know that one was coming.
I mean, in his defense, though, that is kind of how I respond when I come home from shopping and my husband says, how much did you spend?
I've been to Borders and bought a book.
Did I go to Aloe? I don't know. Did I go to Vuori? Who knows? How much was spent there?
I wish I knew what those places were. All right, well, let's listen to Tim's answer. So.
I was, but I'm not the
Okay,
head
so
of
your
HHS.
excuse before that you didn't know what 2017 autism numbers were because you were not governor, and today you can't answer the numbers about 2024 as governor, and you still said you prepared for this hearing today. It's unbelievable. $343 million was spent in 2024. What percent increase is that from 1 million to 343 million? What percentage increase is that?
I'm not here to be your prop. Go ahead and tell me.
She's
Well,
going
are
to give
you
her
governor of
daughter an
Minnesota or
eating
not?
disorder.
Yes, I am. I'm not.
Well,
I'm
when
not
I'm
a prop
governor of
for a
South
member of
Carolina,
Congress.
you can sure as hell bet that I'm going to know the math. The math is 34,200% increase, an increase of 343 times what it was in this time period. Do you know the number of children in Minnesota?
I know that Minnesota ranked as a top 3 state
Okay.
for children
What is the
in the
total
last year.
population in Minnesota?
5.7 million.
Okay. What is the total population of children in Minnesota?
I don't have the number in front of me right
Are
now.
you governor of Minnesota?
I know 400,000 were cut out of health care last
Okay,
week by
that's
the
not-
actions you made.
Are you governor of Minnesota?
She's tough.
I am.
And you don't know the number of children
And you're
I
residing
don't
in
have the
Minnesota?
specific number. It's 5.7 million.
That's your total
What is your age?
population.
What is the age? 0 to 5? 0 to 19?
You have approximately 1.2 million
let's go with
children
17
in Minnesota.
What
I'm not
age?
even governor of South Carolina. Our population in South Carolina is 5.5 million. We have approximately 1.1 million children under the age of 18 in my home state of South Carolina, okay? As governor, I expect you to know this information. Thank God you're not vice president of the United States. Do you know approximately how many children in Minnesota are autistic or on the spectrum?
No, I don't have that number.
Okay.
Not in front
Well,
of me.
if you take the CDC's roughly 1 in 36 kids are on the spectrum, we're talking about approximately 33,000 kids. In South Carolina, it's about 31,000.
And none of them
or so.
got that
What
$300
is,
million?
do you know what this is per child, spending-wise, in the fraud
Oh, boy.
for autistic kids in Minnesota?
Again, I'm not here to be your prop. Go ahead and tell us.
This isn't, is doing Minnesota math a prop? This is math. We're talking about fraud.
Minnesota
We're talking
ranks
about-
at the top.
we're
Where does
talking
South
about
Carolina
money.
rank?
We're talking about money.
Where do South
That was
Carolina
supposed
children
to-
rank
this
on
is-
healthiness?
These are my questions for you. It doesn't go the other way around unless we're debating on the debate stage. And we're not.
If you're asking
This
questions
is-
about being governor,
I'm
it does.
asking you
When you're
questions
governor,
about
you can
being
come and
governor
tell
of
me.
Minnesota, which you can't answer. This is basic math. And you can't even answer.
not
Do you
here to
even
be your
care
prop.
about kids in Minnesota?
They rank near
You
the top
care.
in every category. My children are fed.
You
My
care about
children are
autistic
housed. My
children
children have
getting
health
the
care.
services they need in
My
Minnesota.
children have the best schools.
No, you don't.
But they're not getting that special needs help they need.
Well, here's the problem. By the way, yeah, you're spending almost $350 million
On 33,000 kids.
miniature. Well, 33,000. So she said,
Based on the CD, like the national numbers, that was her guesstimate of how many were within the state.
right. So she goes where her state has 5.3 million and X amount of children under 18.
Yeah.
He has 5.8. So they're relatively the same size state.
Yeah.
And let's just say they have relatively the same size population of people under 18.
Yeah.
And then so you take that number. She said hers had 31 or something, but a little less than the average. And then you divide that by the 343 million. And it's sort of the same horrific math that we do in California for homelessness.
Yep. Or even public schools.
Oh, right.
We spend more on public schools, something like $52,000 a year on every single public school student, but turns out like the average cost of a private school in California is like $12,000 a year.
Which is what's going to happen when government gets bigger, what's bound to happen. But you do the weird homeless math. It's like you spend $24 billion and that's $1 million a year on each homeless person. Okay, it is mind-numbing, but very doable when the government is just handed unlimited amounts of money and it goes unchecked. But the part of this that I really want to get to is this spectrum thing. The spectrum thing is super dangerous. And in a weird way, it's like when DEI stuff was going on back when we used to call it affirmative action, I would say like oh, this is really dangerous. We shouldn't be engaging in this. And people go, what's wrong with letting these people who are formerly oppressed have a chance, an even playing field, whatever. And it's like smash cut to, we have total incompetent people running cities, and we have incompetent people in positions of power, and we have incompetent people running universities. I mean, we ended up with Kamala Harris, and I've been to the border. That's a DEI hire. So it turns out it's a shit show and it's dangerous. The spectrum thing was the same thing. It was like, well, I have a child on the spectrum. I'm on the spectrum. There's a whole thing. First off, when you open things up to a spectrum, then almost everyone can be eligible for that spectrum.
So you think it's too broad?
It's way too broad.
Because there are legitimate, like, people with bipolar disorder or Asperger's. Or,
I would say, obviously, you have to make a threshold.
Yeah.
And it's like saying, can you travel with your dog? Once you broaden it out, everyone can travel with their dog.
I saw somebody with a cat earlier.
Perfect.
On a leash.
Perfect.
And was bringing it in a coffee shop because they had a thing.
Right, it's a thing. So once you go, it used to be, it was kind of funny. I used to joke about this, but back in the day, they'd have those things, those surveys in a magazine. It'd be like, are you an alcoholic? And it's like, do you ever find that you want an alcoholic drink to calm you down and make you more social? Yes. Have you ever drank so much that you woke up the next day regretting how, okay, check that box. Do you find in social situations it helps you relax and
Why
be
not?
more, all right, we got that.
Gets you out on the dance floor.
Anything you've ever drank so much and regretted things? Yes, okay. And then you basically say yes to 18 out of the 20 things, and they go, if you said yes to more than 3 of these, it's like, 3? I had 3 in the first 4. What are you talking about? So
you're like, I had 3 drinks while I filled out this form.
I'm buzzed right now. So when they open the spectrum up, then everybody qualifies. And I'm basically saying this. If you get rear-ended and there's no damage done to your car and your bumper's fine, but you walk out and go, I need a neck brace and I can't work anymore, that's on you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we can't open it that broadly.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be suing everybody all the time. And the thing about the spectrum is, if you're functional, then you're functional. And I don't give a fuck about your spectrum, because the spectrum includes so many people that there's going to be so much fraud and grift. It's literally impossible. Is there any such thing as free money or free stuff where there's not somebody doing a little bit of coaching going, if you're going to work, you got to get paid under the table, because if you get paid with a check, then they're going to know and you're not going to be eligible for it. Like everybody I ever knew, and I knew a few of these people, some disability from work, welfare, food stamps, whatever. There was always...
They know the workaround.
There's an element of somebody going, you can't do this, but if you do that, then you won't be eligible for this.
They're having friends and family members, though, with kids with autism and like some special needs and stuff. It is a legitimate thing to be like, okay, if we're going to say that the government is going to provide this service, let's actually provide the service and have accountability there. Yeah. And a part of the accountability there is making sure that people aren't gypping the system and doing that under the table stuff that you're talking about.
Yeah. In less than a decade, well under a decade, you go from 1 million to 343 million for the same subject.
In like a 6 or 7 year time span. That's insane.
There is no way that autism went up 500-fold in that period of time. So somebody is ripping the system off, and the system will always be ripped off if you leave it up to people's personal accounting of what's going on. Like, are you able to work? No, I'm not able to work. Okay, fill this out. It's never going to work. That'll never. We're so flawed as human beings that that's never going to work. Plus, I'll tell you the other problem, the bigger problem with the spectrum. All it does is allow women to get together and go, I think Adam has a little bit of Asperger's. He's got it.
Are you just worried about all of your exes getting together and being like...
He's definitely got something.
Something's off, or he wouldn't have broken up with me.
Everybody's on the spectrum. Everybody, technically. But listen.
Well, I do agree that if I don't know where ADD, ADHD falls in like all of the...
everyone
in
claims
the
it. Everyone claims it. Everyone who wants to... Everybody I've ever met who just likes to look at their phone while you're talking and you go, hey, over here. They go, I'm sorry, I have ADHD. It's like, no, you don't.
You're just being rude.
You're like looking at your phone while people are talking to you.
You're like flipping through Instagram.
Yes.
I think that there is definitely an overdiagnosis of something. I mean, well, Abigail Schreier talks about this, how girls actually statistically are diagnosed later for things when they needed earlier intervention. But then, unfortunately, sometimes the diagnosis leads to the overdiagnosis of it, and in the case of young women in the country, was leading to unnecessary transitioning of them too. So it is a broader social.
Yes,
sorry, not to overwhelm you here.
No, it's a huge deal with everything. It's not,
and too much money is being spent on it. Like, can we agree that too much money is being spent on it? No brainer.
Well, if you have anything that's essentially free, it's going to get abused. If there's money being tossed at something, it'll get abused. There is no such thing as I work for the Homeless Commission without, every single, but it doesn't matter. Black Lives Matter, oh my God, the head, turns out the chapter in Alabama, Black Lives Matter, was making off with of course they were.
Turns out one of the ladies in California bought a real nice house for herself in Topanga Canyon.
There was a great clip of the Black Lives Matter guy beating up one of his Black Lives Matters lady. You have that?
How do you know that that's our next news story?
Well, it's funny.
Look at that seamless transition.
We'll read the story, but I'll tell you the funny part.
Oh, I think it's all kind of crazy. So this comes from the Daily Mail, and we do have video of it, but I'll intro this a little bit. As Adam said, there was a Black Lives Matter founder in Illinois who was caught brawling with a female worker who accused him of misusing money. The founder, the BLM founder, was caught on camera in a violent office confrontation with a female worker. According to a report, the violent the violent clash erupted into shoving, grabbing, and a physical struggle along a corridor at the group's headquarters, according to the police report. In Waukegan, Illinois, police were called to the BLM Lake County Resource Center on January 12th after reports of a battery involving Clyde J. Micklemore and the project manager, Naisha A. Hill. The surveillance footage and police reports detailed the heated confrontation that spiraled into a physical fight between the two inside the office, and then both said that the fight came following a dispute about money.
Well, let me just say this real quick. Whether you want to argue about where the money was allocated or whatever it is, Black Lives Matter. Anything changed in the black community? Homeless spending in Los Angeles. Anything changed in the homeless community? Autism spending in Minneapolis. Anything change in the autism community? Like, there's a sort of a bottom line, which is at a certain point, as I like to say, if someone said they just dumped $1 million into their home, renovating it, and you show up and it looks exactly the same, or maybe a little bit worse, something is up.
Yep.
Because how is it that you raise millions and millions and millions for this purpose and
nothing's changing,
comes out the other end? Hey, we had a big concert and all the money was going to go to the victims of the Palisades fire.
None of them.
Nobody gets how come nothing happened?
Yep.
There's not one pothole filled. There's nothing put up. There's no new community center that got built with the. Does anyone ever get tired of nothing coming out the other side? But the thing that's funny about this tape is the guy's punching at her.
By the way, apparently, this according to the report as well, police later obtained footage showing that there was a separate physical fight between Hill and Micklemore inside the same office months earlier.
They have
a history of this.
The thing that's comical about it is the woman beats the crap out of him.
I love it.
she's the
Good for
one that
her.
is throwing the guy to
Well,
the ground.
she's pissed because she didn't get paid. That's literally, she's like, she's like, quoting Rihanna, bitch better have my money. And he didn't.
I want to tell everyone, anyone who ever gave me any shit about not putting a black box by my Twitter during Black Lives Matter month, I just want to show them this tape on a loop and go, fuck off. All right. Let's see. What do you got up there for a timer? Now I'm confused.
Oh, yeah, I know. Same.
Is that a mistake?
We're done.
Oh, okay. Why is there a timer up there that says 24
Yeah.
minutes?
It hit 0 and reset.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, all right. All right. Go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. I'll be unveiling the Newman collection out in Santa Ana.
Ooh.
That'll be coming up March 22nd. Do a podcast out there as well. And live shows all over Nebraska coming up. Just go to adamcarolla.com for all the live stuff. And the merch store is open now, too.